Starlin Castro and the Cubs are up against reigning Cy Young winner and freak of nature Tim Lincecum. Tuesday at 10 East 7 West on WGN America.
This is proof God is definitely a man.
It's going to be a great year. Can you feel it?
All right, lock it down.
Field a bit rainy, but we should be okay today. The wind is just howling out of Wrigley Field as we get you set for Cubs baseball today. It's the Hyundai leadoff man on WGN Sports. Former Cubs manager Dusty Baker leading the first place Reds against the Cubs. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to the Hyundai leadoff man. I'm Len Casper. We hope your weekend is going well. The Cubs have had a tough homestand. They've won just one of the first 5 games. They try to avoid the sweep today. They continue to drop very close games, and yesterday was no exception. Let's check out the highlights of Game 2 of this set on Saturday afternoon. In the second, the Cubs trying to get their first lead of the series, and Coy Hill raking one out into left center, but a diving catch by Lance Nix. Marlon Byrd had rounded third. He gets doubled off easily. That ends the threat. Then, of course, the Reds come right back and take the lead. Ramon Hernandez with an RBI single to center. Drew Stubbs, who had a big day, would score 1-0 Cincinnati. The Cubs would, however, come back to tie it off starter Edinson Volquez. Derek Lee with a sac fly out to Jay Bruce. Kosuke Fukudome filling in as the leadoff man, got on 4 times and would score there. Then it was Stubbs in the 8th inning off Randy Wells, who was very good, but a rare mistake on this Saturday afternoon. Stubbs giving Cincinnati a 2-1 lead. Justin Berg coming on, but it would be Paul Janisch to single home pinch runner Bronson Arroyo, who was running for Ramon Hernandez. 3-1 Reds. We get into the 9th inning. They would add on yet another run. This one would be an unearned run because of an error earlier by Blake DeWitt. Stubbs again with a big hit. 4-1 Cincinnati, but their closer Francisco Cordero had no control whatsoever. He hit Starlin Castro after he had walked the bases loaded. Then Aramis Ramirez against Nick Massett walking. It's a 1-run game before Marlon Byrd strikes out on a breaking ball. Dusty happy. Massett gets his second save as he bails out Cordero. So the Reds winning, the Cardinals losing in Florida. St. Louis a game and a half back of Cincinnati, and we'll see the Cardinals on this upcoming road trip. Cubs finishing up the homestand today, and they will head out for a 7-game trek. 4 in San Francisco, 3 in St. Louis. More to come on the Hyundai leadoff man, but as we go to break, let's look at today's Hyundai dealer of the game, World Hyundai in Matson, Illinois. See the cars the experts are raving about at myhyundaichicago.com. The Hyundai leadoff man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. See the cars the experts are raving about at myhyundaichicago.com.
Your new Energy Star qualified Kenmore Elite's all set up.
Fantastic. How can they afford a new washer and dryer right now? They just remodeled a month ago. Something's going on.
Smart shopping is what's going on. Anyone can buy new appliances through the Sears layaway plan. You just lock down the model you want now and pay over 8 weeks.
I want her life. I want her new washer.
Appliance layaway. Choose now, pay over time. Get 30% off all steam washers and dryers and 20% off all other appliances. Sears.
With diabetes, it's tough to keep life balanced. I don't always have time to eat like I should. That's why I like Glucerna shakes. They have slowly digestible carbs to help minimize blood sugar spikes, which can help lower A1C.
Glucerna, helping people with diabetes find balance.
It's time to take matters into your own hands, especially when a little work can mean big savings. AutoZone's got the advice and expertise you need to take on any job and get it done right. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Rated M for mature.
Hey, baseball fan, need a fix? Get the Cubs and Sox download.
There's a swing and a drive, deep right center. Yes!
At WGNAmerica.com for the full lineup of scores, stats, trivia, and more.
In the Cubs system, the Boise Hawks of the Northwest League, managed by former Cub Jody Davis, forfeited their game against Everett last night. They had a long rain delay at the beginning, a 2-0 deficit in the bottom of the first. Jody walked out, conferred with a home plate umpire, and after a long talk, he pulled his players off the field and eventually had to forfeit the game. It ends up being a 9-0 win for Everett. Well, the Cubs kind of playing out the string at this point, but over the next 2 weeks, they're playing teams that all possibly could be in the playoffs. But there's still a lot to look forward to, not only looking ahead to next season, but some big performances from the rookies. And the Cubs have 2 of them in that National League Rookie of the Year race. Tyler Colvin has been struggling as of late, out of the lineup again today against left-hander Travis Wood. Starlin Castro, in spite of that bruise on his left shoulder, is in there as well. Ike Davis, will see him a little later on with the Mets. Jason Hayward will be here on the next homestand, and we'll get a good look at Buster Posey, the catcher of the Giants, in this upcoming series. But today, first things first, the Cubs trying to grab a win against Cincinnati. The Cubs are 3-9 versus the Reds this season. Time now to give you Bob's AutoZone tip of the day. Go west, young man. The Cubs will jump on their charter and fly to San Francisco to begin a 4-game series tomorrow. Tip of the day brought to you by AutoZone. For the auto parts, accessories, and advice you need, get in the zone. AutoZone.
Pizza photo shoots, they're insane. They do all kinds of weird stuff. But at Domino's, we're making a change. Why don't we just take the pizza right out of the oven and take a picture of it?
We want you to be our photographer. Order 2 mediums with 2 toppings for $5.99 each and send us your pictures.
Pizza this good stands on its own.
We won the lottery.
On August 20th,
We won!
winning is just the beginning.
I want to have your baby.
I know your mama.
Surviving
I'm gonna need that lottery ticket.
is another story.
Can you protect yourself at all times? Yes.
Just relax and let me do all the work.
Protect yourself at all times.
Bow Wow, Brandon T. Jackson, Mike Epps, and Ice Cube.
Say, young blood. Somebody read him a bedtime story.
Lottery ticket. Rated PG-13. August 20th.
After using Rogaine for a while, I went to my stylist and she said, "Hey, what's going on? It was not like before. Take a look. You see here, remember? Oh, yeah. I see some hair over there." Hair was growing back. I was like, yes, this works. Like a breakthrough. It was like really a breakthrough for myself.
Rogaine is the only foam proven to help stop hair loss. And for 85% of guys, it regrows hair.
And that's it. Simple, fast, easy.
Stop losing, start gaining. Save up to 42% at RogaineFoam.com.
At Cheez-It, we expect a lot from our cheese.
What do you call a cheese that isn't yours?
I don't know.
Nacho cheese. See, because it's not your cheese, but I said nacho. La 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 la, can't hear you. La 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 la, can't hear you. La 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 la, can't hear you. That's when I decided to fully invest in my 401k.
We take the time for our cheese to mature before we bake it into every delicious cracker. Because at Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
With diabetes, it's tough to keep life balanced. I don't always have time to eat like I should. That's why I like Lucerna shakes. They have slowly digestible carbs to help minimize blood sugar spikes, which can help lower A1C.
Glucerna, helping people with diabetes find balance.
The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. See the cars the experts are raving about at myhyundaichicago.com. Reds and Cubs, 2 teams going in opposite directions. The Cubs have dropped 9 of their last 10. The Reds have won 8 of 10. They might overlook the Cubs today because they have a big series at home starting tomorrow night against the St. Louis Cardinals. Pitching matchup for today here at Wrigley Field. Left-hander Travis Wood, the left-handed rookie, made his major league debut here on July 1st, got a no decision, but went into the 8th inning, allowed just 2 runs. He has not given up many hits this season. And Thomas Diamond, the 27-year-old right-hander, just his 2nd major league start, 10 strikeouts in his debut against Milwaukee. So we're set for baseball. Bob Brenly will join me, and we'll get set for the Cubs hosting the Reds right here on WGN Sports.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is having a snowball fight with pitching great Randy Johnson a bad idea?
Sorry, man. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, you just winged me.
Think anybody's gonna notice that?
Yeah, probably. Maybe we should just go sledding.
Yeah.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
At Overstock.com, you can find everything for you and your family at prices up to 70% off every day. We have mattresses, bedding, lamps, digital cameras, and much more. And your entire order ships for just $2.95, even if it's 100 things. Overstock.com, traditionally low prices.
We are being so bad.
But technically, you're being worse than me. Because you're eating from that new mini blizzard, so proportionally, you're stealing more per bite.
I can't believe it. You have to ruin everything.
Don't you walk away from me.
Celebrate the Blizzard's 25th with the all-new DQ Mini Blizzard. Big Blizzard taste in a smaller Blizzard bite.
That's it.
It's a boy.
Oh, this is so cool.
That's great.
Visit VirginMobileUSA.com/TV.
What do you think to me for? I don't know what I'm talking about. Nobody ever listens to me.
He's a victim of circumstance.
Exactly.
The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
And slightly rainy afternoon, WGN Sports brings you Chicago Cubs baseball. The Cubs today finishing up a 6-game homestand. They try to avoid the sweep at the hands of the first-place Cincinnati Reds. We welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. We're going to start just a couple of minutes late. You can see behind us the grounds crew getting the field ready. About 2 hours worth of rain, but we should be all right. Bob, it's been a tough year for the Chicago Cubs team, and we're going to look at some numbers to kind of explain what is going on.
Well, you can look at just about any statistical category you want, and the Cubs are going to come up short this year, especially in those one-run games. They played more than anybody else in the majors. They've lost more than anybody else in the majors. And really, as you look at all these numbers, it basically comes down to one thing: the lack of clutch hitting with runners in scoring position. And yesterday's game was a perfect example of that.
Yeah, you look at that quality start category. The Cubs have gotten a ton of them this year, but they're only 5 games over 500 in those starts. Most teams like to win 7 out of 10 at least when you get a quality start.
And you can't help but get the feeling, and we talked about this yesterday in the early part of the season throughout the first half, when the starting pitchers were just racking up quality start after quality start, and unfortunately the offense couldn't make them stand up. Well, we've reached the point of the season where the pitch count, the grind has taken its toll on the pitchers, and they're starting to struggle a little bit.
One of the silver linings is there is an opportunity here. Of course, Ted Lilly got traded. You have Carlos Silva now on the disabled list, but right-hander Thomas Diamond, it's been a long road to get to the big leagues. 27 years old, and thought he pitched well in his major league debut.
I thought he pitched extremely well. Given the circumstances, anybody's going to be a little bit nervous for their major league debut, have a few butterflies, especially a guy that's gone through what Thomas Diamond has gone through, but he pitched extremely well. He spotted his fastball on both sides of the plate. He showed an ability to elevate the fastball up high in the strike zone, and thus the 10 strikeouts.
And I think he would be the first to tell you, maybe be a little bit more efficient. He threw over 120 pitches, but double digits in strikeouts, the first Cub in his debut to do that since Mark Pryor in 2002. Another rookie, this time for the Reds, and he's been a nice boost for this team, Travis Wood.
Yeah, he got his career underway against the Cubs in his debut. 7+ innings in that game, only gave up a couple of hits and 2 runs. His last time out against the Braves, he was fantastic. 7 innings of 2-hit shutout baseball.
And Travis Wood also took a perfect game into the 9th in Philadelphia, didn't give up a run, and got a no decision. That's a tough one.
That is a tough one, but you get the feeling that Travis Wood, much like Mike Leake, their other young pitcher, these guys are mature beyond their years. I think they can handle it better than most young pitchers could.
So Wood for the Reds, Diamond for the Cubs, and we'll have the national anthem and the first pitch. All the action coming up right here on WGN.
Turtle. I mean, this is freaky, even for me.
Yeah, turtle.
Turtle.
What? It'll be like prom. Well, so I guess you won't have a date then. Drama. Drama?
Does the hair look good?
Vince. Hey, Vince.
Yeah, Vince.
Hi, Vince.
Had a great time. Think we should do it again tomorrow.
Telling me.
Yeah, E. Don't worry about it, E.
You're a sensitive guy, E. It's kind of queer.
Ari.
What you gonna do about it, Ari?
Give me something good, Ari.
We just had a moment. Did you feel that? I think I'm going to leave Mrs. Ari and take you for the weekend. All right?
Among guys, Budweiser has become a kind of currency. Helping a friend move gets you a 6-pack. Up 3 flights? That's more. Dog sitting for the weekend? Well, that depends on the dog. Riding in the middle seat has its own benefits. The last wing is worth 1. The celery's worthless. Flying blind into a double date for your buddy earns you a case. Though, on occasion, you may owe him. So pay up with the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
Pizza photo shoots, they're insane. They do all kinds of weird stuff. But at Domino's, we're making a change. Why don't we just take the pizza right out of the oven and take a picture of it?
We want you to be our photographer. Order 2 mediums with 2 toppings for $5.99 each and send us your pictures.
Pizza this good stands on its own.
I don't know what I was looking for exactly. I just started building my family tree on Ancestry.com. And I got a message from another member. She was a distant cousin who had photographs of my great-grandmother that I'd never seen before.
Visit Ancestry.com and discover the world's largest online family history resource.
Turns out you don't have to know what you're looking for. You just have to start looking.
Your discovery starts right now on Ancestry.com.
Want hemorrhoid relief without messy creams or gels? New Cryostat. Instant relief. No mess. Cryostat. A breakthrough in hemorrhoid treatment. Extinguishes itching, burning, swelling with cooling comfort. Instant relief. No mess. Cryostat.
Chicago Cubs baseball on your official summer baseball station, WGN. Brought to you by Budweiser. Want to go home with me tonight? I'm the designated driver. Budweiser. Responsibility matters. Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Submit your idea at refresheverything.com. And by Illinois Lottery's newest game, Powerball. Wednesday and Saturday jackpots start at $20 million. We see just a little bit of blue skies peeking through the clouds. The lights are on, but once this rain is past, we should be in decent shape for the rest of the afternoon. And while the Cubs right now are well back in the standings, they have a lot of games coming up that matter. Not only this series against the Reds, you've got the wild card leading Giants who might end up winning that National League West. You have the Cardinals for the first time at St. Louis this coming weekend. You come back, you play San Diego and Atlanta, so it's a tough stretch coming up.
You know, nobody down on the field or in the clubhouse wants to use the word spoiler, Len, but unfortunately we're going to use it. That's where the Cubs are right now. They're going nowhere in this division, but they have a chance to impact the National League playoffs. And when you have nothing else to play for, hopefully they'll be able to get up for these games and go out and give their best effort.
Well, while we have a few extra minutes, on this date, 22 years ago, remember August 8, 1988, lights were installed for the first time at Wrigley Field, and we had kind of a similar day with some rain. Let's take a look back to that historic day.
1, a 2, a 3, let there be.
The first night game was it was a spectacle. It was a happening thing.
It had the feeling almost of you were walking into a heavyweight fight, that you're going to see something tonight that you've never seen before.
I go out on the mound, and I'll never forget the Hall of Fame said, hey, whatever you do, don't let him put the first ball in play. So I was told to just miss the outside corner. They wanted to take the ball to the Hall of Fame. I do that, but as I turned to go to home, all of a sudden, I too, and you've heard the broadcast, thought the stadium exploded. I went, what in the world was that? I mean, nobody had ever taken pictures of me, not like that. Everybody in the ballpark took a picture.
The first pitch of the ball game. Look at the lights flickering all over Wrigley Field.
My first at bat, I'll never forget because, I was excited. It's a big moment.
Look who's coming on her field. It's Morgana. She wants to kiss Sandberg.
Morgana, the kissing bandit, came out and kissed Rhino. I was on deck and I was jealous. I wanted her to come kiss me.
And there I am trying to get my first at bat, under my belt, under the lights, and I go up there and actually hit the second pitch for the first home run under the lights. So that was a big thrill.
It might be. Ryan Sandberg, the first nighttime home run at Wrigley Field.
I remember them saying that we're about to see from the west, that we're about to get a lot of rain here at Wrigley Field. And Rick Sutcliffe slowly pacing around the mound, wiping his brow, tying his shoes, and we're all screaming from the upper deck or from here, just throw the ball, let's get going. We want to get this one in.
It rained. It rained, and wouldn't you know it, of course, because God didn't want lights at Wrigley Field.
Jody Davis, started talking about, hey, let's go slide on the tarp. So, I was young, I bit, went out there, and I remember sliding on the tarp with Jody Davis, Al Nipper, Les Lancaster. That was the first thing I remember about the first night game.
I thought the ballpark was going to blow down, the lights and everything. I mean, it was just, within 2 hours, I went from a high to feeling as bad as I could possibly feel. When we lost that, remember, we got rained out, terrible storm. I mean, turned out to be a terrible evening.
Bob, after watching that piece, a wonderful look back at August 8, 1988. I just want to know, did Morgana ever find you in the on-deck circle?
No, I actually had to chase Morgana down after that ball game, but she's pretty fast when she's being pursued.
Well, we've seen a lot of the Reds this season. We've seen a little bit of the Cardinals. Two teams we haven't seen at all, the San Francisco Giants and San Diego Padres. They're in a good battle for the West crown. Of course, both teams could get in with the wild card there, but the Cubs are going to face some really good pitching coming up.
Yeah, no question about it. The Padres, Giants both loaded with starting pitching, solid closers. And I think the thing that's interesting, Len, the Padres made some moves at the trade deadline to bolster their offense. The Giants didn't really make any major moves, but the big move was sending Benjamin on his way and putting all their faith in rookie catcher Buster Posey, and so far it's worked out extremely well for the Giants.
Former Cub Mark DeRosa out for the rest of the season, and also the pitching matchup tomorrow should be interesting. Carlos Zambrano back in the starting rotation. He'll face young left-hander Madison Bumgarner for the Giants. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll have Cubs baseball for you. The Cubs hosting the Cincinnati Reds.
I wanted to find out about my great-great-grandfather, so a friend told me to give Ancestry.com a go. I found all kinds of historical documents, including a record that showed he was a convict. Funny, no one ever told me about that.
Visit Ancestry.com and discover the world's largest online family history resource.
You really don't have to know what you're looking for. You just have to start looking.
Your discovery starts right now on Ancestry.com.
Juicy Johnsonville sausage, made with only premium cuts of pork since 1945.
Johnsonville. Sausage is all we do.
All right, your new Energy Star qualified Kenmore Elite's all set up.
Fantastic.
How can they afford a new washer and dryer right now? They just remodeled a month ago. Something's going on.
Smart shopping is what's going on. Anyone can buy new appliances through the Sears layaway plan. You just lock down the model you want now and pay over 8 weeks.
I want her life. I want her new washer.
Appliance layaway. Choose now, pay over time. Get 30% off all steam washers and dryers and 20% off all other appliances. Sears.
Nice finger. A wart could get used to this. Liquid wart remover. That's all you got? That could take weeks to treat me. Did it get cold?
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away removes warts fast with as little as 1 treatment.
You'll miss me.
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away.
Time now for our Chrysler game forecast, brought to you by Chrysler. 75 and rising is the temperature. The wind out of the southwest, and it was really blowing hard here. It's died down just a little bit, but 28 miles an hour. Humidity also elevated at 83%. Windy and wet, but again, we're set here in a couple of minutes. For more information on our vehicle lineup, log on to Chrysler.com or stop by your Chicagoland or Northwest Indiana Chrysler dealer today. Big crowd on hand. Looked like everybody came prepared. As the Cubs try to avoid the sweep, which they did against Milwaukee, dropped the first 2 games of that series, but then blew out the Brewers on Wednesday afternoon. And some low-scoring, tight games in this series. 3-0 Cincinnati on Friday. And then the Reds were able to barely hang on 4-3 yesterday, as they had to pull their closer Francisco Cordero in the 9th. Nick Massett ended up getting the save. We're going to send it down to the field now. Michael McDermott will handle God Bless America and our national anthem.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you all please rise, kindly remove your caps, and join Michael McDermott as he honors the United States by first performing God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
Outstanding rendition of God Bless America and our national anthem by Michael McDermott. And we are ready to go. The Reds and Cubs next.
Among guys, Budweiser has become a kind of currency. Helping a friend move gets you a six-pack. Up 3 flights? That's more. Dog sitting for the weekend? Well, that depends on the dog. Riding in the middle seat has its own benefits. The last wing is worth 1. The celery's worthless. Flying blind into a double date for your buddy earns you a case. Though, on occasion, you may owe him. So pay up with the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
Air has no prejudice.
It does not carry the opinions of a man faster than those of a woman.
Does not filter out an idea because I'm 16 and not 30.
Air is unaware if I'm black
or white.
And wouldn't care if it knew. So it stands to reason my ideas will be powerful.
If they are wise, infectious, if they are worthy.
If my thoughts have flawless delivery, I can lead the army that will follow.
Rule the air. Verizon.
Everyone, if I may direct your attention to the television, you are about to see something amazing.
Oh, I like where this is going.
That's not a bad idea.
No way.
Let's do this! This is awesome. So awesome.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. Really, really awesome.
Awesome!
Because that's just how we roll.
God bless America.
Today's Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kids, Darby Woolslayer from Michigan City, Indiana, Tony Luttrell from Bluegrass, Iowa. For more info on how you can be a Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kid, go to WGNradio.com. Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. The home team was able to take batting practice, and then the tarp went on the field at a little after 11 o'clock. We will start probably 10 to 12 minutes late. Grounds crew did a wonderful job getting the field ready. We didn't get a lot of rain, but I think the biggest issue, Bob, was actually the infield dirt because the tarp was not on the field during part of the rain for batting practice.
Yeah, but fortunately the grounds crew hustled that tarp out there on the field as the rains picked up a little bit, and it looks to be in great condition. A little diamond dry thrown around the infield, but just as a precaution. Field should play really well today.
Now the Cincinnati Reds starting lineup. Offensively, they've been excellent this season. It's written out by Dusty Baker, former Cubs manager. Chris Heisey is in center today. Kind of good for the Cubs not to see Drew Stubbs, who's had a huge year against them. Former Cub Miguel Cairo in for Brandon Phillips, who fouled a ball off his shin late yesterday. Votto, Gomes back in there in left. Bruce in right. You have Juan Francisco in for Scott Rowland. Ryan Hannigan, the catcher. Paul Janisch for the DL'd Orlando Cabrera. And the pitcher is Travis Wood.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today. Behind Thomas Diamond, brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Soriano in left, Bird in center. Xavier Nady needed a GPS to find his way out to right field. It's been a while since he started a game defensively in the outfield. Ramirez, Castro, Baker, and Lee across the infield. Coyhill once again doing the catching today. And he'll be receiving pitches from 27-year-old Thomas Diamond, making his second major league start. See his numbers against the Brewers. Very impressive with the fastball across the top of the zone. A really nice straight changeup, occasional curveball. I'll tell you, his game plan was good against the Brewers. If he can execute a similar game plan against this Reds team, we're hoping for good things.
And any excuse to play some Neil Diamond, we'll do it. Adrian Johnson will call the balls and strikes. The crew chief is Tim McClellan, Andy Fletcher, and Mike Everett at second and third respectively.
It almost looks like the sun could come out any minute. What a bizarre day. I don't think there was any rain in the forecast as we went home from the ballpark yesterday afternoon, but it was surely here this morning, and as we get closer and closer to first pitch, it's starting to clear more.
Chris Heisey will lead it off. Recently had taken away a lot of playing time from Drew Stubbs, who had a huge game yesterday after a long slump. Stubbs with the ultimate game-winning home run. He had 3 hits. So it's Heisey to lead it off. Here we go. Strike one on a fastball at 94. A 15-minute rain delay.
Temperature is 75 degrees. Winds are out of the southwest at 17 miles per hour.
The wind now has died down to 17 miles an hour, which is still pretty brisk. Inside on the fastball, 2-1. Well, we saw a lot of swings and misses from the Milwaukee Brewers against Diamond in his debut on Tuesday. He lost that game, but it was a quality start. This time he hits Heisey, and the leadoff man is on.
That changeup just got away from Thomas Diamond, tailed inside, and just did clip the uniform shirt of Chris Heisey. He'll head on down to first base. Hey, you mentioned the swings and misses against that Brewers team in Thomas Diamond's last outing. A lot of them came on high fastballs, 4-seamers across the top of the zone, and a lot of other ones came on the straight changeup. Having a little trouble finding the release point there to Heisey on that straight change.
He was in the minor leagues with Edinson Volquez in the Texas organization. I think there are some similarities in terms of guys who are going to throw a lot of pitches, might struggle with that strike zone, but they have strikeout stuff. Called strike on Miguel Cairo, veteran utility man. Brandon Phillips getting the day off, but is available if needed off the bench. Fouled a ball off his left shin late in the game yesterday, and actually was replaced in the 9th for defense by Cairo. Double play ball. Castro, the flip. Baker dropped it, and they do give him the out at second. I don't know if he ever did have possession, but because he was reaching into his glove, he got the call from Andy Fletcher. Dusty Baker's going to come out and will argue to no avail. It'll be a fielder's choice. That should have been a double play, and the Cubs, I think, are fortunate to get one out.
I think that's the best way to describe it, Len. It should have been an easy double play, a hard hit ball up the middle of the field. A relatively slow runner in Miguel Cairo at the plate.
Oh, he never had it.
It looked like he never had control of that baseball. That's a huge break for the Cubs here in the first inning.
In fact, I think the ball is out before he even puts his hand on it. Yeah.
It just hit the heel of his glove and bounced away before he was able to get that bare hand up there and grab the ball.
I have a feeling Dusty's going to be more upset when somebody runs back up and watches a replay.
It takes a little longer here at Wrigley than it does at most ballparks, because whoever's job it was to run up there and check the replay, they're not even halfway to the clubhouse yet.
And on their way back, he didn't have it. It's a bad call.
He dropped it.
It is a long journey, as you mentioned, to the visitors' clubhouse. And Dusty's saying what Andy Fletcher told him. He's pulling it out of his glove. See if Diamond can take advantage of the break. Although he should be facing Votto with 2 outs and nobody on, so a partial break. Votto, hate to even say it, but without a hit in this series. He did walk a couple of times in the opener. 0 for 6 otherwise. Inside. That's been another problem defensively. This Cubs team has had A lot of chances to help the pitching staff, and at various points has not. Tons of unearned runs. Well, how many double play chances just have not been converted this season?
A lot. I mean, we haven't obviously kept track of that particular stat, but I think if you ask Alan Trammell, who basically is in charge of working with the infielders here with the Cubs, he'd tell you way too many.
Let's see if they can do it this time. Castro will take it by himself, and he airmailed it into the dugout. That will be an error because Votto will be allowed to go to second. Maybe a little happy feet there from the rookie, Starlin Castro.
Yeah, he ends up hitting the bag at second base with his right foot and wanted to unload the ball quickly while at the same time leaping over Miguel Cairo, the runner coming into second. Just too many things going on physically right there for anybody. And Castro airmails it into the dugout.
Big swing as always from Johnny Gomes. The error on Castro, his 16th of the year. Bob, is it safe to say that there have been occasions early on in Starlin's career when he's hurried when he doesn't have to, and there have also been occasions when he's taken too much time, and it's just kind of getting a feel for the rhythm, isn't it?
It really is, Lennon. Because he has such a strong throwing arm, I think that has caused some issues with taking a little bit too much time on the most routine of plays. And you know, he's a 20-year-old with tremendous physical gifts. He thinks he can make every play.
Yep.
The good news is Starlin Castro is one of the first guys on the field every day. He's out here trying to refine his game, but it's just going to come with more experience, more game experience. There's only so much you can simulate at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 10 o'clock in the morning. You actually have to get out there at game speed and try to execute some of these plays. And as he gets more experience, I think you'll see him smooth out the rough edges of his game.
I think the other thing the coaching staff would like to see, and we'll find out today because it happened in the first, his errors have kind of been bunched together. And so when you make a bad play early in a game, the idea of forgetting that play and not letting it affect the rest of the day. He's had 2 games in particular that we can remember where he hasn't been comfortable. But for the most part, he has really upgraded that position defensively for this team. Ball 4, Gomes is on.
And for me, Len, this is the real unfortunate byproduct of the defensive miscues here in the first inning. You force your starting pitcher to throw a lot more pitches than he should have had to throw to get out of this first inning, and that's going to take its toll somewhere in the very near future, whether it be the 4th or 5th or 6th inning. You're going to have to start thinking about Thomas Diamond's pitch count, and is it time to get him out of this game? Well, he's thrown a boatload of pitches here in the first inning that he should not have had to deliver.
Well, I mentioned the unearned runs the Cubs have given up by far the most in all of baseball. And Diamond trying to make sure no more score. But that's not going to happen. As Jay Bruce finds the right field corner. Votto in. Gomes is going to score. And Diamond should have been out of this inning. So it's 2-0 Cincinnati.
That's what good teams do when you present them with an opportunity to send 3 or 4 batters to the plate that shouldn't have been up in the inning. Jay Bruce with a rocket line drive down into that right field corner. Votto is going to score easily from second base. And with 2 outs in the inning, Johnny Gomes got a great jump off first, and he scored without a play.
Juan Francisco playing third. And he pulls one foul. I believe the throwing error is not going to affect the earned status of the runs, because it simply allowed Votto to move up a base. No Roland, no Phillips today, but the Reds still with 2 runs here in the opening inning. The pitch outside. Talked about it the other day, Bob. There are a lot of teams with losing records on this unearned run list. That's going into action today. Way too many.
Yeah, and if you even take it a few more places, the next few more places are teams that are really struggling this year.
Slicing foul out of play to make it 1-2 on Francisco.
I think every major league team has a break camp in spring training. They know that they're going to have injuries to deal with during the course of the season. They know there's going to be a certain amount of inconsistency with their pitching and with their offense, but the one thing you would like to be a constant is your defense. Make the plays you need to make, get your team off the field and back in that dugout swinging the bats. And I'll tell you, these kind of innings where you give the opposition 4, 5, or 6 outs in an inning, they are just crushers.
Especially for a team that has struggled to score runs. Well, Francisco lining balls all over the ballpark, but he hasn't hit one fair yet.
He must be upset with first base coach Billy Hatcher about something. Really been jumping out of the way one direction, then the other direction, ducking underline drives, trying to get as close to the tarp over there on the first base side as he can.
That's high on a 4-seamer. 2-2. Swing and the miss. Strike 3 to end the inning. But the Reds get 2 on the double by Jay Bruce. The Cubs are coming up from Wrigley.
My mother froze everything. I was 18 years old before I had my first fresh bun. The invention that I came up with is the Hot Dog Easy Bun Steamer. Steam is the key to a great hot dog. I knew it was going to be a success. The invention was so simple that I knew I needed to protect it. My name is Chris Chute, and I got my patent, trademark, and LLC on LegalZoom.
We created LegalZoom to help people start their business and launch their dreams. Go to LegalZoom today and make your business dream a reality. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
Denny's has 3 delicious new skillets starting at just $3.99. You hear that sizzling? It's the money you just saved burning a hole in your pocket. Just kidding, it's the new skillets.
Nice finger. A wart could get used to this. Liquid wart remover. That's all you got? That could take weeks to treat me. Did it get cold?
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away removes warts fast with as little as 1 treatment.
You'll miss me.
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away.
This Kenmore Elite multi-motion washer, how does that work?
Hit it! The other machines only go in circles. This Kenmore Elite has multi-motions for custom clean. It scrubs to help lift stains, rolls to wash gently, swings, steps, and tumbles.
Better than just circles. What? Sorry.
The first multi-motion washer from Kenmore. Get 30% off all steam washers and dryers and 20% off all other appliances. Sears.
Now Lou's Pepsi lineup for today's game against the Cincinnati Reds, brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. We mentioned Tyler Colvin's been out of the lineup for the last couple of days, so Starlin Castro will lead off for the first time in his major league career. Baker at second for DeWitt. Lee, Ramirez, Bird, Soriano. As Bob mentioned, Xavier Nady has not played a whole lot here lately. Coy Hill in for Giovanni Soto, and Thomas Diamond batting ninth.
A little bit of a different look for the Reds lineup today. Johnny Gomes in left, Chris Heisey in center, Jay Bruce over in right field, Francisco and Yanish on the left side of the infield, Cairo and Votto on the right side, Ryan Hannigan doing the catching for rookie left-hander Travis Wood.
He's been very impressive early on as Castro becoming the Cubs' 5th leadoff man this season. Rockets 1 foul, 8th start, and he has not given up many hits. 28 over almost 45 innings.
He has a very sparse repertoire too. He uses a 2-seam tailing fastball, a cut fastball, and a straight changeup. He does have a curve and a slider, but he rarely uses them. Works the fastball on both sides of the plate, uses a straight changeup in fastball counts, and he is off to a tremendous start in his major league career. You know, Len, in that respect, I think it helps to have Mike Leake on the starting Reds pitching staff as well. When you've got a soul brother, so to speak, to talk to about your experiences. Castro looks at a cutter on the inside corner for a strike 3, but Leake and Wood undergoing some similar things this year in their inaugural season in the major leagues, and I think that helps both of the men.
Just caught the inside corner. And now it's Jeff Baker who hits it foul. Blake DeWitt on the bench for the first time as a Cub after 6 consecutive starts. Both Reds runs were earned in the top of this inning. Baker's been a lot better against lefties than righties this season, and he hammers this one foul. I noticed the hardest hit balls so far have been pulled way right or way off to the left, as opposed to straightaway center, which is where the pitchers want to avoid, with the wind blowing straight out toward the batter's eye.
Definitely, I think it's part of the game plan of Travis Wood with that cut fastball inside to the righties.
Giannis with a strong play, and Votto digging it out at the other end. Well, the Reds have played stellar defense all season, and that was a, what's Votto saying? Pumping up his teammate, I think. That was a solid play by Paul Giannis.
I don't know how you can do it much better than Giannis did right here. Went into a slide to stop his momentum as he fielded the ball and made a strong one-hop throw, and a nice pick by Joey Votto at the other end. Yeah, the Reds have been among the National League leaders in defense all season.
This will be the inning as Cairo throws out Derek Lee. A very quick 1-2-3 for the rookie lefty. 2-0 Cincinnati.
It's understood that if you get up to get a Budweiser, you come back with a round. How you carry that round is a matter of personal preference. There's the 6-pack Strangler, the St. Bernard, the Flock of Geese, the Marsupial, the Sherpa, the Claw, even the more advanced Labrador Retriever. But we always come back with the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
Rated M for mature.
What's up?
Oh, my feet are killing me.
You should get some custom fit orthotics.
Dr. Scholl's Custom Fit Orthotic Center. It recommends the custom fit orthotic that's best for your feet, and foot care scientists are behind it.
You'll get immediate comfort.
And you could save a couple $100. For locations, see drscholls.com.
2-0 Cincinnati on just one hit in the top of the first. That was A 2-run double from Jay Bruce. A called strike on Ryan Hannigan. Now it takes a team effort over 162 to win a division, and the Reds have gotten contributions from all around. I'll tell you, Bob, and I think in a lot of ways, especially right at the end of Dusty Baker's tenure here, he was unfairly maligned for some of his lineups. Maybe not giving certain guys a rest, as that's a base hit into center. For this reason, you look at what he's done with his Reds team, giving Scott Rowland the day off today. I think Phillips with the shin probably needed a day. But when you feel confident that you have backups who can help you win, you will play them. You're more apt to give them time.
And in turn, you show that confidence to your bench players that they're a part of this team, and there are expectations on their performance as well, and they respond as the Reds have this year. It's been a nice situation for Dusty. He has a lot of very, very usable pieces on this Reds team.
He was criticized for too much loyalty to his veterans. Well, look what he did with his closer yesterday. Francisco Cordero did not even get a chance to save it because he was all over the place. Fly ball down the left field line. That's going to be out of play. Tuesday, August 17th is Polish Heritage Night here at Wrigley Field, presented by Pepsi. Watch the Cubs host the Padres at 7:05. Don't miss the special discounts and Polish theme activities before and during the game. Fans attending the game can also get a commemorative Cubs cap with a $5 donation to Chicago Cubs charities, which will help support Chicago's Polish community. For more info, visit Cubs.com. Dusty said after the game yesterday, those games are going to take some hours out of my life every day. Knocked down by Ramirez. Castro will still throw, but it's late. And Giannis has an infield hit. That'll put the pitcher Wood in a bunting position.
Just ticks off the end of Aramis Ramirez's glove, and there's that strong arm of Starlin Castro trying to make something out of nothing, but too much speed from Giannis. He legs it out for an infield hit. I mean, really, Len, looking up and down this Reds roster, with the exception of Drew Stubbs, who's had a subpar year batting average wise. He's only hitting .234, even though he's not in the lineup today, but he has hit 14 home runs and driven in 51. I mean, everybody that's been asked to either come off the bench as a part-time player or the starting players who are grinding it out on a regular basis, everybody has responded well to Dusty this year, having very solid seasons.
I'm guessing in 01 you would not have played all the guys off your bench and rotated if you didn't have the veterans you had.
Well, that was a completely different story. We had a bunch of old guys. We had a very old roster that year, and we didn't think we were going to be able to make it through 162 playing a regular lineup on a daily basis. We had a strong bench, so we incorporated those guys where we felt it was proper, rotated guys in and out of the lineup, and much like this Reds team up to this point of the season, everybody responded really well.
Diamond will throw. Baker covering first. I think most managers would like to have an everyday lineup, take that headache away, but you can't always do it that way.
Well, that's the easy way to do it. Just plug in the same 8 names and put in a different pitcher on a daily basis. Maybe use your backup catcher once in a while, but just keep running them out there every day. But given the travel demands of Major League Baseball now, the irregular schedule with night games followed by day games followed by night games, odd start times, I just don't think it's practical to have an 8-man everyday lineup. I mean, certainly you're going to have guys that you rely on more than others, and if you had to name a starting lineup, it would be pretty easy to do, but you got to use them all.
One strike to Heisey. Corner men in. They're back up the middle. Second and third, one out. Lou was asked about his veterans. He said one guy might need to give some more time is Marlon Byrd, as Soriano twisting and catching on the warning track. A tag and score play by Hannigan to give Heisey a sac fly, and it's 3-0. That ball was hit pretty hard, and the wind, of course, helping just about everything. And Soriano with a nice catch for the second out.
Yeah, it was fortunate Heisey didn't get more air underneath that baseball. This is more of a line drive to straightaway left field. Nice twisting, turning catch by Soriano, going back right in front of the vines, but Hannigan able to tag and score easily from third.
Giannis still at second, and it's Cairo. Called strike. Lou has given the guys in his outfield time off, and with the situation with Tyler Colvin jumping in, he's been able to sprinkle in Fukudome, move Colvin to center or left when necessary. Nady in there today. Ramirez has gotten time off. He's had some nagging injuries. Really the only guy who's played every single day over the last 3 months or so is 20-year-old Starlin Castro. Troy Hill getting his second consecutive start. Giovanni Soto with a sore right shoulder. It's a sprained ligament, but he hopefully will be back in the lineup tomorrow night in San Francisco. Hey, don't forget to check out our WGN baseball blog on WGNTV.com. I have a post about broadcasting games down the stretch in a season like this, game notes from stats, and much more. Once again, WGNTV.com. Click on sports, look for the link to Len and Bob's blog. There's Giovanni Soto. The shoulder bothers him when he hits, not when he throws. Backpedaling, Soriano makes the catch, and the inning is over. 3-0 Cincinnati after an inning and a half.
My most memorable experiences were my Little League days.
We were called the Rockets, the Oyster River Bobcats,
Lloyd's Reynolds.
There's nothing like the adrenaline you get as a young kid, just kind of competing at that early age. If I went pitching, I was catching. If I went catching, I was playing shortstop.
That's when I first learned to throw my big 12-6 curveball.
We'd play whenever we had any free moment.
Every kid dreams about playing Major League Baseball. I remember that just like it was yesterday.
One tribe, y'all. One tribe, y'all. We one tribe, y'all. We are one people.
When you choose Pepsi, you support the Pepsi Refresh Project, which is giving away millions of dollars to refresh communities across America. So choose Pepsi.
One tribe, y'all.
Every Pepsi refreshes the world.
One people.
Let us pray.
Love you, honey.
Love you too. Hello?
Visit VirginMobileUSA.com/TV.
Juicy Johnsonville sausage, made with only premium cuts of pork since 1945. Johnsonville, sausage is all we do.
Nothing Cincinnati. Let's look at our AT&T U-verse replay. Marlon Byrd, a fan favorite, hanging with a fan from the hometown team. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T, rethink possible. And Bob, some big TV news today. AT&T U-verse TV launched the Chicago Cubs multi-view app in partnership with WGN Sports. For Cubs home games on WGN starting today through the rest of the season, AT&T U-verse viewers can now call their own shots. The multi-view app allows the viewer to choose from 7 different camera angles and watch 4 at the same time. Ramirez skies to left. Johnny Gomes back to the warning track. 4 up, 4 down for Wood. Multi-view is on channel 780 and available to all UVerse TV customers in the Chicago area. That's pretty cool. Just can't tell Skip and Mark in our truck. We talk about managing the game along with Lou. You can direct the game along with Skip Ellison. A strike on Marlon Byrd. Here you see what our director Skip Ellison and producer Mark Brady and everybody in our production truck gets to look at. I don't see that they're spying on us in the booth anywhere in there. That's good.
But we know they can at any moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big Brother is watching. The 1-1 to Bird. One hopper. That was a nice defensive play just to preserve his health. Paul Janisch got in front of it, just trying to knock it down.
That's a play you'll see a lot of infielders take off to the side. They'll let that ball get close to them, turn their body sideways and try to Ole catch it on the side. But Janisch stayed right in front, risking life and limb to stay in front of that one and make the play.
Soriano hits the first pitch. Travis Wood hasn't broken a sweat on this warm day. 6 up, 6 down quickly, 3-0.
It's been a 2-team race. Wednesday, the boys in black meet Minnesota in a crucial 3-game series on the south side. White Sox Twins, Wednesday, 8 East, 5 West on WGN America.
You know, every time I think about you, baby, it's like a movie in my head that drives me crazy.
Put a refreshing spin on your summer. Bud Light Lime. The just right taste of Bud Light with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor. One taste and you'll find the good time lime. Bud Light Lime.
Dreaming again.
With diabetes, it's tough to keep life balanced. I don't always have time to eat like I should. That's why I like Glucerna shakes. They have slowly digestible carbs to help minimize blood sugar spikes, which can help lower A1C.
Glucerna, helping people with diabetes find balance.
After using Rogaine for a while, I went to my stylist and she said, "Hey, what's going on? It was not like before. Take a look. You see here, remember? Oh, yeah. I see some hair over there." Hair was growing back. I was like, yes, this works. Like a breakthrough. It was like really a breakthrough for myself.
Rogaine is the only foam proven to help stop hair loss. And for 85% of guys, it regrows hair.
And that's it. Simple, fast, easy.
Stop losing, start gaining. Save up to 42% at RogaineFoam.com.
Denny's has 3 delicious new skillets starting at just $3.99. You hear that sizzling? It's the money you just saved burning a hole in your pocket. Just kidding, it's the new skillets.
Time now for our Budweiser Thirst Cam. Brought to you by Budweiser, official beer of the Thirst Inning. Let's check out the crowd through the Thirst Inning fan cam, see who's enjoying the game. Check out some more Beck. Budweiser, it's what we do. 2-0 on Joey Votto. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the first inning. Moved to second on a throwing error by Starlin Castro on that fielder's choice, and then would score on the double by Jay Bruce. Outside 3-0 to a patient hitter. I know I'm just forgetting somebody, but I can't remember over the last few years. I guess Rich Harden would be the only guy who would stand out. A right-handed four-seamer starter for for the Cubs. Most of their right-handers over the past several years have all been sinker ballers. I guess Rich Harden would be the one guy I could think of.
I go back to the days of Mark Pryor and Kerry Wood. Both guys featured four-seamers as their main fastball. They may have mixed in a two-seamer from time to time, but yeah, with the smaller ballparks and the bigger, stronger hitters, I think everybody went to the sinker ball just trying to keep the ball on the ground.
Breaking ball that time and a strike to Johnny Gomes. A walk and a run for him already. Second start of the series. 0 for 4 on Friday with 3 strikeouts. He's 1 homer away from 100 in his career.
We've had a little fun with Johnny Gomes and his pre-swing routine that he goes through. Eventually he's going to grab the bill of that helmet and pull it up and down and make sure that his eyes are wide open. I was watching him in batting practice. He does the same thing even when he's just wearing his regular baseball cap. Just a habit.
The 1-1 on the way, fouled back. I think Gomes, with that wind blowing straight out, has to at least be in the back of his mind, number 100, and he has not hit one over the last 15 games. But wind blowing in or out, I have a feeling Johnny Gomes is thinking home run.
Yeah, it's not due for a lack of trying. He hasn't homered in that stretch of time. It's the primary thing on his mind as he steps into that batter's box.
Cubs got Diamond on waivers from Texas last September. Born in Metairie, Louisiana. Pitched for Coach Randy Bush at the University of New Orleans. Randy now the Cubs assistant general manager. Metairie, Louisiana.
And you were drawing some comparisons yesterday between Joey Votto, the runner at first base, and Albert Pujols by their setup in the batter's box. The similarities go on and on. They both play first base, are both great defenders. And Votto and Pujols, both guys that will steal a base. Maybe not so much in this particular situation, but in key situations where they need to get a runner into scoring position, Votto is a guy that's capable of getting a jump, stealing a bag, putting himself into scoring position for the guys hitting behind him in the order. And I believe Albert Pujols is still leading the Cardinals in stolen bases.
This pitch probably hits him if he doesn't hit it first. Three and 2. There goes Votto, ball 4. Cub fans, the Pepsi Refresh Project is providing millions in grants to help communities around the country. The Cubs are competing with other MLB teams for a $200,000 Pepsi Refresh grant. Their idea is to support the Humboldt Park Children's Baseball Leagues, allowing hundreds of kids to play baseball at no cost to their families. Vote now at MLB.com/Pepsi Refresh or text Cubs to 76462. Team with the most votes by August 17th will win a $200,000 grant for their idea.
Now, the Cubs aren't going to win the division this year, but that's one thing we can win. Get on the computer. I've voted several times myself already for those improvements to Humboldt Park, and it'll benefit a lot of kids. It costs you absolutely nothing. Go online and vote.
That was rookie Casey Coleman in the bullpen, and a base hit for Jay Bruce. Votto had to make sure the line drive got through And the Reds have the bases loaded with nobody out. Bob, what have we learned about leadoff walks?
They're never, ever a good thing.
Especially back-to-back to start the inning. And Diamond in a major jam here.
I mean, I've been around the game a long time. The game itself has been around for a long time. And to the best of my knowledge, nobody's figured out a way to defend the walk. At least as the batter puts the ball in play, you've got a chance of getting him out.
Juan Francisco pops it up. Castro out. It's going to drop. Throw is going to go to second, and they get a force there. The infield fly rule was not in effect. I was looking around to see if an umpire was going to put up his arm. He never did, and I think it was because of that wind and the fact that Castro never really did have a beat on it. So it's 4-0. That'll be an RBI, fielder's choice for Juan Francisco.
That's a play that may have been made in the first inning when we had the overcast conditions, but you can see from the shadows everybody looking right up into the sun, the wind pushing that ball out to center field. Fortunately, Xavier Nady had his wits about him, realized that he still had an opportunity to get the force play at second. But the Reds are going to tack on another run. Some shoddy defense.
Here's Hannigan with runners at first and third. The Reds have scored in each of the first 3 innings. And we're keeping an eye on a no-hit bid in Toronto after the highest scoring game of the season yesterday. 17-11 Toronto over Tampa Bay. The Rays are being no-hit again. How many times have they been no-hit now? 2 or 3 times the last couple of years. Brandon Morrow threw 8 innings, no hits, 1 walk, 16 strikeouts as the Jays lead 1-0. Tampa Bay got a no-hitter recently. Matt Garza on the 26th of July. Tampa Bay no hit by Mark Burley, a perfect game on July 23rd of last year. Dallas Braden, perfect game against the Rays on May 9th this year. Edwin Jackson no hit the Rays on June 25th. Poor little guy.
I know how he feels.
2-2. Diamond needs a strikeout or a double play ball. Cincinnati already leading 4-0, and Travis Wood cruising along early. Curveball in the dirt outside. Paul Janisch on deck. Long look at Coy Hill. Glance at both of the runners. And the 3-2 pitch with Francisco running. High pop into right. Nady not bothered by the sun yet. Here comes a runner from third. And another run. Johnny Gomes in. 5-0 on a sac fly. Shoot us an email. Len and Bob at Tribune.com, and you can follow us at Twitter.com/Len and Bob as well. Paul Giannis takes low and outside, so the 3 walks given up today by Thomas Diamond, they've all come around to score. Two and 0. Knee-high fastball at 94 to make it 2-1. A pop-up that'll find the seats back behind the Cub dugout. Gary Stark from the Cubs clubhouse staff would like to send get well wishes to Charlene Brooks, his mother-in-law, recovering in the hospital. Charlene, we hope you're feeling better. Gary's thinking about you. Also want to send out happy 60th birthday wishes to Mary Marzullo, longtime Cubs fan. Right center, Nady and Bird getting together. It'll be Marlon Bird to make the catch. They add 2 more. A couple of walks really hurt Thomas Diamond. It's 5-0 Cincinnati.
It's time to take matters into your own hands, especially when a little work can mean big savings. AutoZone's got the advice and expertise you need to take on any job and get it done right. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
When you pursue an MBA at DeVry University's Keller Graduate School of Management, you'll have a professor with you every step of the way. Whether you take classes on campus, online, or both, you get the same attention, the same curriculum, and the same quality. 85 locations nationwide and online. Discover how to grow the business of you at keller.edu.
All right, your new Energy Star qualified Kenmore Elite's all set up.
Fantastic. How can they afford a new washer and dryer right now? They just remodeled a month ago. Something's going on.
Smart shopping is what's going on. Anyone can buy new appliances through the Sears layaway plan. You just lock down the model you want now and pay over 8 weeks.
I want her life. I want her new washer.
Appliance layaway. Choose now, pay over time. Get 30% off all steam washers and dryers and 20% off all other appliances. Sears.
Want hemorrhoid relief without messy creams or gels? New Cryostat. Instant relief. No mess. Cryostat. A breakthrough in hemorrhoid treatment. Extinguishes itching, burning, swelling with cooling comfort. Instant relief. No mess. Cryostat.
5-0 Cincinnati. Speaking of Cincinnati, we want to welcome Mike McConnell today. Starts tomorrow morning on WGN Radio 720. Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 12:30 every day. Check him out. Moved from Cincinnati, where he was #1 for 2 decades at WLW Radio. Hearty welcome to Mike. Xavier Nady against Travis Wood, who has a 5-0 cushion off the inside corner, ball 1. For Xavier, just the 28th start for him over the Cubs' last 84 games. pitch, 3-0. Travis Wood, a second-round pick in 2005, born in Little Rock, Arkansas. 4 straight bad ones, a leadoff walk.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN TV is sponsored in part by the Illinois Lottery Mega Millions. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is $64 million.
Now Coy Hill. Second consecutive start. Now it's been a while for Coy. His last home run was May 29th of 2009 off Chad Billingsley of the Dodgers. Ground ball. They will turn it 6-4 to 3. Paul Giannis has had a very strong day defensively. And just like that, 2 outs, and Thomas Diamond will be lifted for a pinch hitter.
I guess you could play the what-if game all day long, but boy, if the Cubs had made just a couple of defensive plays for him in that first inning, it may have been a completely different story for Thomas Diamond. Forced to throw a lot of pitches to get out of that first inning. Struggled with his command in the third inning and being pinch hit for here in the bottom of the third.
So we're going to see Casey Coleman in the fourth, but Blake DeWitt will pinch hit. High for ball 1. Chopper back to Wood. And the third inning comes to a quick end. Leadoff walk, no runs, 5-0 Cincinnati.
Imagine a world of non-stop football. See scores as they happen live in HD. Watch every touchdown from every game. Sunday afternoon will never be the same. Dish Network presents NFL Red Zone.
Awesome. It's like awe-inspiring awesome. My buddy here is kind of underplaying it. I mean, it's the red zone. It's the best part of the game.
What I love about NFL Red Zone, every single touchdown, every single highlight.
If I could describe NFL Red Zone in one word, it would be super awesome.
A must for any NFL fan.
Call Dish Network today. Packages start at just $29.99 a month. And add NFL Red Zone for just $7 a month. Plus, you'll also get NFL Network, featuring football 24/7, including exclusive Thursday night games. NFL Red Zone has to be seen to be believed. Get the channel critics have called by far the most innovative sports television creation of 2009 or even the decade. The NFL Red Zone. An out-of-body, all-encompassing, died and woke up in football heaven experience. Now, get Dish Network and add NFL Red Zone and NFL Network for just $7 a month. And with Dish Network, HD is free for life.
I am a fantasy guy, and because of watching Red Zone, I'm able to get the jump on guys in my league.
It gives you all your stats right there in front of you.
Everything NFL has to offer on one channel.
Plus, with Dish Network, you'll get exclusive split-screen picture-in-picture on any TV.
I've got NFL Red Zone on one side and the local game on the other.
You flip back and forth, you hear something from another game, you try to find the channel. The Red Zone just brings me right to it.
Call Dish Network now and get a free DVR upgrade and HBO and Showtime free for 3 months. Plus, free installation.
It's like watching an action movie, but all you see are the explosions. Boom, boom, touchdown, touchdown.
Call Dish Network today and add NFL Red Zone for just $7 a month or visit Dish.com. Sunday afternoon will never be the same.
It's getaway day for the Cubs, so time to check out their upcoming Expedia road trip and their schedule. Expedia.com, where you book matters. At San Francisco Monday through Thursday, and then our first trip to St. Louis. How about that? Mid-August, first time the Cubs will be in St. Louis. Casey Coleman making just his second major league appearance.
The first one was highly forgettable against the Brewers in that blowout game on Monday. Pitched only 2 1/3, gave up 8 hits in that ball game. He's a sinker baller. When he's at his best, you'll see a lot of ground balls to the infield.
Called strike on Chris Heisey. Major League debut for Coleman was historic. It was 6 days ago, Monday versus Milwaukee. He struggled, 6 runs, 8 hits, and 2 1/3. But when he threw that first pitch, his family, the Colemans, became the first ever 3-generation family of pitchers in Major League history. His grandfather Joe and his dad Joe, who at one time was a Chicago Cub, also pitched in the majors, and both were all-stars. Granddad back in 1948 and his dad in 1972. Full count, 3-2. Way up in the air for Castro in shallow left center, and he has it. Get in the swing at the Captain Morgan Club every Monday for your chance to win batting practice on Wrigley Field. Polish off 60 wings in 60 minutes. You'll be swinging them out of the park at the end of the season batting practice. With 25-cent wings on Mondays, you won't break the bank. Visit CaptainMorganClub.com for details.
You talked about Casey Coleman's father, Joe. Actually, the guys that are playing for the Daytona Cubs get to see Joe Coleman a lot more than Casey does during the summer. Joe Coleman is the pitching coach for the Lakeland Flying Tigers down in the Florida State League.
So the Detroit Tigers, they can't fly, but the Lakeland Tigers can.
Yeah.
You think the Major League Tigers would be able to fly?
It's all about geography.
It's easier to fly in Florida than Michigan, huh?
It's humid air.
Yeah. Casey's full name, by the way, is Joseph Casey Coleman, so he is Joe as well, but goes by Casey. Two-two, Cairo with a little floater. Baker with the snag. Nicely done by Jeff Baker. And the Cubs' first 1-2-3 inning. 5-0.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is a bird in the hand worth 2 in the bush?
Well, you rarely see them in this good a shape. For example, the fingers are perfect. The bird is in mint condition. And I'd say if this were to go to auction today, conservatively, it would be worth 2 in the bush.
Really?
It's just beautiful. Thank you so much for bringing it in.
Unbelievable.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Ever wonder who's searching for you?
I have 7 people searching for me? 7?
Go to mylife.com, the internet's leading people search site. Just type in your name and see if someone is searching for you for free.
Could be an old boyfriend.
At mylife.com, there are millions of unclaimed messages. You could have messages waiting for you right now. Go to mylife.com, type in your name, and see if someone is searching for you right now for free.
Are you boxers, are you briefs, or something in between? Do you dream in heather gray, or a place where trunks are mostly bluish green, with a waistband softer than the rain? Well, I don't care what you wanna wear down
copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Time now to check out today's improvement from Menards. Since July 10th, Starlin Castro is carrying the third highest average in the major leagues at $4.06. For all your home improvement needs, shop and save big money at Menards.
Castro leading off today and leading off this bottom of the fourth. So no for Brandon Morrow, and he might not even get the win. Evan Longoria with 2 outs in the ninth, breaking up the no. And the Rays have runners at first and third, trailing 1-0 as Morrow has been taken out of the game. 16 strikeouts, 2 walks, and only 1 hit allowed. Well, imagine Kevin Gregg will be coming in. We'll keep you posted. That's just wide of third. And a 2-1 count on Castro.
Can't say I'm really surprised about Brandon Morrow's outing today. I think you're going to see a lot more stellar outings from that young right-hander. Has a tremendous arm. In his time in Seattle, there was a lot of confusion. Should he be a starter? Should he be a closer? Well, he settled in pretty nicely as a starter.
This young 23-year-old left-hander has been really good. Travis Wood. Castro sends a fly ball to right. Jay Bruce on the warning track. 1 away.
The 2010 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN is brought to you by Bud Light Lime. The drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime.
The rain has gone away. The sun is out. Wind is blowing straight out to center. As Jeff Baker looks at a strike, the Cubs without a hit to this point. They've had 1 base runner. That was Xavier Nady, who walked on 4 straight to start the third, but he was quickly erased on a 6-4-3 double play. Baker off the end of the bat, but Bruce is going to get there. Bob, this kid doesn't give up hits. Mentioned he took a perfect game into the 9th inning in Philadelphia in his 3rd major league start. The no-hitter was broken up, but he went 9 innings, didn't allow a run in that game, and didn't get the win. That is a very tough luck outing for anybody. Problem was he was facing Roy Halladay. His team didn't even win the game. How do you not win a game when you take a perfect game into the 9th? 2-0 on Lee.
He just has a very subtle movement on his pitches. I wouldn't call it a sinker, but his tailing fastball has just enough movement to get the ball off the barrel of the bat out toward the end. The cut fastball has very similar subtle movement the other direction, gets it off the barrel down toward the trademark, and inevitably you end up putting the ball in play weakly, which is exactly what he wants.
Three and 1. It is now final, and Morrow did stay in. He did finish it. A 9-inning complete game, 1-hit shutout. Finished with a punch out. 17 Ks for Morrow today. 1-0 Toronto.
Wow.
So maybe he talked Cito into leaving him in. Well, obviously he did. 136 pitches. Drive deep to right. Bruce, however, is going to have room. And Travis Wood has not allowed a hit through 4 here, leading 5-0.
We are being so bad.
But technically, you're being worse than me. Because you're eating from that new mini blizzard, so proportionally, you're stealing more per bite.
I can't believe it. You have to ruin everything.
Don't you walk away from me.
Celebrate the Blizzard's 25th with the all-new DQ Mini Blizzard. Big Blizzard taste in a smaller Blizzard bite.
Does any mother ever feel like their kids are adults? I have twins, 21 years old. Each kid has their own path. They grow up and they're out having their life. I really started to talk to them about the things that are important that they have to take ownership over. My name's Colleen Stiles, and my kids and I did our wills on LegalZoom.
We created LegalZoom to help you take care of the ones you love. Go to LegalZoom.com today and complete your will in minutes. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
With diabetes, it's tough to keep life balanced. I don't always have time to eat like I should. And the more I focus on everything else, the less time I have to take care of me. That's why I like Lucerna shakes. They have slowly digestible carbs to help minimize blood sugar spikes, which can help lower A1C. Lucerna products help me keep everything balanced.
I'm good.
Well, almost everything.
Glucerna, delicious shakes, bars, and cereal, helping people with diabetes find balance.
Time now for the fifth inning, brought to you by Subway. Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how'd you like to win $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete information and rules.
Votto, Gomes, and Bruce versus rookie righty Casey Coleman. In for the starter Thomas Diamond after 3 innings. Diamond charged with 5 runs in his 3 innings. Floated down the line. It's going to drop fair, and Votto will motor into second. First hit of the series for Joey Votto, who was leading the league in hitting going into action on Friday. No longer atop the leaderboard, but he is leading in on-base percentage and slugging.
Boy, just cued that sinker right off the very end of the bat into no man's land. Shallow little blooper just inside the left field foul line. It's frightening to think how this series would have gone if Joey Votto was red hot like he usually is when the Cubs face the Reds.
Gomes has walked twice and scored both times. He's a guy who would rather swing the bat than walk. One and one.
I think he'd rather swing the bat than eat. This is a guy that lives for every at bat he gets in a major league game.
One and two.
Good change up from Casey Coleman. Has very similar movement to his sinking fastball, but about 10 miles per hour slower.
And Votto saw that ball got away from Hill and that Coy couldn't find it, and is now at third with nobody out on a wild pitch charged to Coleman.
Not so sure that ball did get to the dirt. Actually, it looked like it hit the webbing of Coy's glove and just trickled away, but he didn't know where it was initially. Once he turned his back to the infield, that was Votto's cue to break for third base and made it easily.
That'll force the infield to come in, with the Cubs already trailing by 5. The wind really gusting now, straight out. Three and two. That's what it looked like about 11:30 this morning. But it was raining at the time. A third walk today for Johnny Gomes. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
She juggles work, motherhood, and her ex-husband's girlfriend. Julia Louis-Dreyfus stars in The New Adventures of Old Christine. Premieres September 13th on WGN America.
First and third, no outs. Jay Bruce with a 2-run double in the first, a single in the third. He's played every game for the Reds this season. You have Lee holding on Gomes at first. Everybody else in double play depth. Outside 2-0. How about this note? On Monday at Pittsburgh, Jay Bruce recorded 9 putouts. That's one short of the NL single game record for putouts by a right fielder. The Cubs' Bill Nicholson did it in 1945. Raul Mondesi in 1995. 10 putouts by a right fielder. And I'll tell you, Jay Bruce today had 3 in the 4th inning. Ball 4 to load him up. I know we sound like a broken record, but as Larry Rothschild heads out, you get into a survival mode with the starter not going very long today. You have Carlos Zambrano probably limited to around 80 pitches tomorrow. This is the third of a 20-game stretch without an off day, and I think maybe the most important thing, Bob, is now you're dealing with rookie pitchers with confidence that could be a little fragile if you get pounded in a spot like this. So this is a situation no pitching staff and no manager and pitching coach want to be in.
And you're playing against a really good offensive ball club that can smell that blood in the water right now. They know that the Cubs bullpen is manned mostly by young, inexperienced arms. Being very patient, forcing Casey Coleman and Thomas Diamond before him to throw the ball over the plate before they commit. And when they have committed to swing the bat, they've done some damage. Yeah, not an ideal situation.
Leadoff double by Votto. Back-to-back walks to Gomes and Bruce, and now it's Juan Francisco. Very aggressive, bases loaded, nobody out his last at bat, and he popped it up. Ended up getting an RBI out of it. Ground ball to Castro. Baker late to first. Like a clean play, a slide by Jay Bruce. So an RBI for Francisco on another fielder's choice, and it's 6-0.
You know, and at least part of the issue the Cubs have had turning these double plays. Look where Starlin Castro is when he fields the ball. He's almost behind second base. Jeff Baker coming in at a very extreme angle to the bag. Almost has to look back over his right shoulder to take this shovel toss. Then try to avoid the sliding runner. Try to get a throw off toward first base. Just a very odd geometry of those double play attempts we've had in this game.
You saw Starlin's toss did not really lead Jeff into that relay throw. It also looked like Starlin was a little extra careful to make sure they got the one out. They've had a little trouble with that today. Called strike on Ryan Hannigan. 1-1 the count. Detroit trying to avoid the sweep, leading at home over the Angels 9-4. It's been a rough second half for Jim Leyland's club. The Angels last night clinching their first road series win since mid-June here at Wrigley Field. Detroit 4 games under 500. The Angels right now at 500 at 56-56. Torrey Hunter's suspended for 4 games for his actions on Friday night. And he did not appeal. Fly ball as Gomes gets ready to tag, and a slip by Marlon Byrd. He does make the catch. The throw goes into second base, 7-0 on a sac fly by Hannigan, his second of the game.
Nice recovery by Marlon Byrd out there in left center field. Towering fly ball. You'll see Marlon shading his eyes as he gets over into position to make the play, and when he attempts to stop, his feet go out from under him, but he never takes his eye off the baseball. Able to get back up to a knee, make the play, and hustle the ball back in to hold the runner at first.
So Johnny Gomes, 3 walks, 3 runs without an official at bat. Paul Giannis flies out to Byrd. They add a couple. Only inning they haven't scored, the 4th. It's 7-zip Reds.
Good. That's the hit. It's a boy. Oh, this is so good. Visit VirginMobileUSA.com/TV.
After using Rogaine for a while, I went to my stylist and she said, "Hey, what's going on? It was not like before. Take a look. You see here, remember? Oh, yeah, I see some hair over there." Hair was growing back. I was like, yes, this works. Like a breakthrough. It was like really a breakthrough for myself.
Rogaine is the only foam proven to help stop hair loss. And for 85% of guys, it regrows hair.
And that's it. Simple, fast, easy.
Stop losing, start gaining. Save up to 42% at RogaineFoam.com.
Nice finger. A wart could get used to this. Liquid wart remover. That's all you got? That could take weeks to treat me. Did it get cold?
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away removes warts fast with as little as 1 treatment.
You'll miss me.
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away.
It is hot, especially once that sun came out. The Reds with 7 runs on only 5 hits today. The walk has really hurt the Cubs pitching staff. 5 walks issued, and 4 of them have turned into runs. Ramirez leading off the 5th. Approach-wise, Bob, what do the Cubs need to do differently? Travis Wood with just 36 pitches through 4 innings.
I think against a pitcher like Travis Wood, rather than look for a particular pitch, look for a particular zone, either inside or outside. He throws the cutter into the righties. He sinks the fastball and the changeup away from the right-handed hitters. I think you have to give him one side of the plate and look to the other side.
And Ramirez drives it down the right field line. Hits the side wall, so it's foul.
Well, he really has only thrown, by my unofficial count, 2 breaking balls in this game. He's tried to get ahead of right-handed hitters a couple of different times, throwing a first pitch slider. But other than that, it's all been fastballs, either cutting in or sinking away.
Wood's last outing was Monday at Pittsburgh. 7 innings, no runs. Got a 4-0 win. Gave up just 2 hits. They were singles. 41-year-old Russ Springer, who's now on the DL, and 40-year-old Arthur Rhodes also pitched in that game. And according to Elias, it was the first time ever a rookie started and 2 pitchers at least 40 years old combined for a shutout. So if you add up their ages, it's 104, and Travis Wood representing only 23 of those years. Called strike 3, comes all the way back, and fans Aramis Ramirez looking for his second punch out. Time now to check in on our PNC Cubs achiever. Marlon Byrd against left-handed pitchers on the list. Ramirez at .395 in 07. Billy Buckner, left-handed hitter, hit .389 against lefties in 1978. Sammy in 01, and Keith Moreland in 1983 at .382. PNC Bank, proud to be an official sponsor of the Chicago Cubs, and just as proud to support the fans and community who cheer them on. PNC for the achiever in us all. Travis Wood pitching to the conditions today. He's given up some warning track shots, but all for outs.
Let's probably see Billy Buckner on that list, but when you think about it, Billy Buckner hit everybody. Didn't matter if you threw right-handed, left-handed, power pitcher, finesse pitcher, made no difference to him.
Well, we've already had one close but no cigar, no hit attempt today. That was Brandon Morrow, who struck out 17 in a complete game, one-hit shutout. He got 26 outs without a hit against Tampa Bay, and Travis Wood has not allowed a hit here through 4 2/3. Going to be 5 as Bruce comes in. Jay Bruce has had 5 putouts over the last 2 innings. Off to the 6th. All Reds.
The music that is the pulse of America comes to life before your eyes. Head to WGNAmerica.com/Tom Petty now to nail a free trip to LA and front row tickets for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers in concert at the world famous Hollywood Bowl.
Every time I think about you, baby, it's like a movie in my head that drives me crazy.
Put a refreshing spin on your summer. Bud Light Lime. The just right taste of Bud Light with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor. One taste and you'll find the good time lime. Bud Light Lime.
Daydreaming again.
With Denny's new $2, $4, $6, $8 value menu, you can get 16 different wallet-pleasing meals for $2, $4, $6, and $8 all day, every day. And now you can choose from 3 new sizzling skillets starting at just $3.99.
It's time to take matters into your own hands, especially when a little work can mean big savings. AutoZone's got the advice and expertise you need to take on any job and get it done right. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Pizza photo shoots, they're insane. They do all kinds of weird stuff. But at Domino's, we're making a change. Why don't we just take the pizza right out of the oven and take a picture of it?
We want you to be our photographer. Order 2 mediums with 2 toppings for $5.99 each and send us your pictures.
Pizza this good stands on its own.
The 26th Annual Cubs Convention will take place at the Hilton Chicago on January 14th, 15th, and 16th, 2011. Rooms are available now by calling the Hilton Chicago at 312-922-4400 and asking for the Cubs Convention rate. Weekend passes will go on sale in early November. For more info, visit Cubs.com. Travis Wood has no hit the Cubs through 5. 1 strike on him, and he's done it on 45 pitches. Baker throws him out.
Kristen Lewis from Quincy is today's Hit the Jackpot with Powerball contestant. If the Cubs hit a home run in the next inning, Kristen Lewis will win 100 chances to win the Powerball jackpot. Wednesday's jackpot is worth $38 million.
Heisey hit by a pitch, sac fly, and a pop out. White Sox lost today in Baltimore 4-3, and the Twins won 5-4 at Cleveland. 5-run fifth did the trick. It's a base hit for Heisey, so the Twins have drawn to within 1 in the AL Central. Jim Thome with a home run for the Twins, number 578. In on the hands and fought off by Cairo.
Get off me, ball. Boy, that sinker came to eat right there. Started on the inside part of the plate and just kept running further up and in. Cairo hits that ball about an inch above his hands.
Baker out into the outfield grass for out number 2. We will be recording a brand new updated podcast after the game. You can go to WGNTV.com to view it starting tomorrow. We'll be there bright and early.
At least early.
We will be in San Francisco, and well, I love getting up early there, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Because, you know, it's really noon here, so get my 14 hours of sleep in. Lee will take the bag unassisted. He gets Votto, and the inning is over. 7-0 Cincinnati. Cubs still looking for their first. Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Submit your idea at refresheverything.com.
Pepsi Max, please. Good song. Great song. So, Pepsi Max has 0 calories, huh? Yep. How many calories? 0. 0? 0. What are you doing? YouTube. Oh.
Pepsi Max. 0 calories. Maximum Pepsi taste.
Air has no prejudice.
It does not carry the opinions of a man faster than those of a woman.
Does not filter out an idea because I'm 16 and not 30.
Air is unaware if I'm black
or white
and wouldn't care if it knew. So it stands to reason my ideas will be powerful
if they are wise, infectious, if they are worthy.
If my thoughts have flawless delivery, I can lead the army that will follow.
Rule the air. Verizon.
This Kenmore Elite multi-motion washer, how does that work?
Hit it!
The other machines only go in circles. This Kenmore Elite has multi-motions for custom clean. It scrubs to help lift stains, rolls to wash gently, swings, steps, and tumbles.
Better than just circles. What? Sorry.
The first multi-motion washer from Kenmore. Get 30% off all steam washers and dryers and 20% off all other appliances. Sears.
Can I be honest with you? Yes, but not about my body, or my hair, or what other people are saying about me.
Let's check out who's moving forward with Toyota. That comes with a right-handed heavy lineup over the last 3 or 4 years, and finally this season they have the highest batting average in the majors against left-handed pitching, just ahead of the Twins. Toyota and your local Toyota dealers, official partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Bottom 3 in the order. And against southpaw Travis Wood. Certainly not afraid to work inside. That one was away to Nady. 1 strike on the Cubs right fielder. He has been the only base runner so far for the home team. A leadoff walk in the 3rd. Inside corner, fastball at 90, 0-2. What a major league debut for J.P. Arancibia for the Blue Jays yesterday. I got overshadowed by Brandon Morrow's performance today. He hit a home run on the first pitch he saw in the majors, ended up with 2 home runs and 4 hits in his major league debut. Can't get much better than that.
Yeah, but it's all downhill. Set the bar way too high in that first game. They're going to expect that every day. That was my theory. Just kind of ease into it.
First player in modern baseball history with 4 hits, 2 homers in his debut. Starlin Castro knocked in 6 in his debut at Cincinnati. That was a major league record. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That has been an atypical at bat today in this regard. It actually went about 5 or 6 pitches. It's been getting a lot of early outs, but this time goes upstairs to get an 80.
I don't think anybody would say that Travis Wood has a big overpowering fastball, but that time he was able to throw it right by Xavier Nady up above the letters.
In a way, the Cubs have had the DH today. The pitcher has not yet batted and will not in this inning. You had DeWitt hit for Diamond in the 3rd, and Colvin is going to hit for Coleman in the 6th. Well, Casey was better today than he was in his debut. Gave up 2 runs but 3 innings and a base hit for Coy Hill. So they break up the no-no with 1 out in the 6th.
Wasn't sure we were going to see this today against Travis Wood, the way he's been pitching. A little cutter that just caught too much of the plate for Coy Hill. He's ready for it and lines a clean single into left field for the first Cubs hit of the ball game.
The pinch hitter Colvin takes a fastball outside. Looks like we're going to see James Russell in the 7th. A pop up. There will be room for Francisco, and he has it.
Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to www.wrigleyvillerooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF.
Starlin Castro, fly ball deep right. Jay Bruce back to the 368 sign, and he makes the catch. Still 7-0, the Cubs on the hit board, but that's it.
We're the Bella Twins.
You're going to recognize them from your wildest dreams.
WWE superstars. Expect everything.
Juicy Johnsonville sausage, made with only premium cuts of pork since 1945. Johnsonville, sausage is all we do.
At Overstock.com, you can find everything for you and your family at prices up to 70% off every day. We have mattresses, bedding, lamps, digital cameras, and much more. And your entire order ships for just $2.95, even if it's 100 things. Overstock.com, traditionally low prices.
Grandma, we won the lottery.
How to survive winning the lottery.
We're the only ones that know about the ticket. What can go wrong?
Be cool.
I want to have your baby.
I know your mama.
Think fast.
Kevin! Yo, he's coming.
Who's coming? Jesus.
No, not Jesus. Lorenzo, man. He's out of jail.
Hand over that ticket.
And look out.
Just relax and let me do all the work.
Say, young blood.
Lottery ticket.
Somebody read him a bedtime story.
Rated PG-13. Starts August 20th.
Cub fans, if you want to manage the game along with Lou Piniella, log on to WGNTV.com right now. Click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio and play sets, hot tubs, and more. Another guy stole your T-shirt.
I wonder, you know, I go to the closet every morning and can't find a thing to wear. End up wearing these logo shirts. I would much preferred my Krusty the Clown shirt today. Is that a Lollapalooza bracelet there?
It might be.
Cut those off after you get home.
Johnny Gomes has tied his career high with 3 walks today. As he faces Jeff Russell's son, James. A 2-generation pitching family. More cowbell. They were saying that a lot at Lollapalooza this weekend.
I know, I was saying it during Lady Gaga's set.
You wanted less Lady Gaga and more of anything.
As much cowbell as you can bring.
I just want to know if Miss Gaga is going to follow us to San Francisco.
Oh.
She was in Houston when we were there, Denver, back home.
I think we're starting to see a common thread with Cubs playing poorly and Lady Gaga's tour schedule.
Two and one the count on Gomes. Here's the pitch. Just off the outside edge. Pirates today fired pitching coach Joe Kerrigan and bench coach Gary Varsho. Varsho, a former Cub. John Russell, the manager, called it a gut-wrenching decision. Both good baseball men. Don't think they'll be out of work for long.
No.
Another 3-2, and he has now set a new career high. 4 walks for Gomes. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
He's awkward, neurotic, and completely hysterical. Larry David, the creator of Seinfeld, stars in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Premieres September 13th on WGN America.
Unfortunately, that's what my scorecard looks like today. Lots of W's. Way too many walks given up by Cubs pitchers. 6 of them. And most of them have been pretty damaging. Fan reading up on tomorrow night's Cubs starter, Carlos Zambrano.
I prefer to call this my eco-friendly scorecard because, as you know, I write walks in green, and there's a lot of green on the card today.
Productive day for Bruce on both sides. He's had a very busy day defensively. And the 0-2 from Russell. Slider is outside, and Hill will get a new ball. They're still delayed in Florida. Cardinals and Marlins. I think that delay has been over 3 hours now as called third strike to get Bruce.
Perfectly located fastball. A little push by Coy Hill right at the very end, but Adrian Johnson, the home plate umpire, had already determined that pitch caught the corner at the knees.
Well, they can do rain delays in South Florida. Those will be eliminated in 2 years when they move into their new retractable roof ballpark. You can get about 7 feet of rain at Landshark Stadium, whatever it's called now, and it has the best drainage in the world. Out into center, that's a base hit for Juan Francisco. There's still time to get great seats, including bleachers, for Cubs games this summer. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Padres and Braves, division leaders, coming to town on the next homestand. Great to have Rick Sutcliffe in the booth with us. He will conduct the 7th inning stretch here for the Chicago Cubs fantasy camp. Low and away to Ryan Hannigan. 2 on, 1 out. Reds leading 7-0. Cubs' next opponent, the Giants, trailing at Atlanta 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Braves are 38-15. That's the best home record in baseball. Russell has a sign from Hill. And Hannigan able to hold. 2-1. Russell in his 4th season with the Cubs organization, taken in the 14th round in 07. Lee charges, spins, gets one. Relay throw to Russell just a little bit late. Nice try on the 3-6-1, but it'll be a fielder's choice for Hannigan.
Well, probably wasn't hit hard enough to turn a double play anyway, especially with the right-handed throwing Derek Lee initiating that double play. And neighborhood play out there at second for Castro that time. Both feet came off the bag as he went to get the throw, but he was in the vicinity.
So they're at the corners for the shortstop, Janisch. Ball 1. Phillies edged the Mets 6-5 in Philadelphia. Roy Halladay with his 14th win. Not a quality start. He gave up 5 runs in 7 innings, but his team gave him good support. He had 1 hit in that game as well. Brad Lidge got his 14th save. Base hit center field, 8-0. Janisch is 2 for 4 as Gomes comes in. So Johnny Gomes, 4 walks, 4 runs.
That's why we come to the ballpark, Len, to see something you've never seen before. 4 walks. That's a good month for Johnny Gomes most times. 4 on the ball game today, and Paul Janisch stays hot at the plate. He's had 4 good at bats, 2 singles, and 2 deep flies to center field to Marlon Byrd.
Wood pops it up. Derek Lee right behind the mound makes a catch. Here comes Rick Sutcliffe with a stretch.
After the ball game is former Chicago Cubs great Rick Sutcliffe. Hello, Chicago. Help me out. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame for it. You're out at the old ball game.
You know, every time I think about you, baby, it's like a movie in my head that drives me crazy.
Put a refreshing spin on your summer.
Can't contain it.
Bud Light Lime. The just right taste of Bud Light with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor. One taste and you'll find the good time lime. Bud Light Lime.
Daydreaming again.
What's up?
Oh, my feet are killing me.
You should get some custom fit orthotics.
Dr. Scholl's Custom Fit Orthotic Center. It recommends the custom fit orthotic that's best for your feet, and foot care scientists are behind it.
You get immediate comfort.
And you could save a couple $100. For locations, see drscholls.com.
We discovered a subterranean lake through a rift caused by the quake.
An ancient species has been unleashed. It travels 150 feet per second. It can sense its prey from up to 3 miles. The first bite draws blood. The blood draws the pack.
What are you seeing down there?
Oh my God.
Piranha in 3D. Rated R.
All Reds and Travis Wood today gave up the first hit of the game in the 6th inning. 8-0 Cincinnati. Rick Sutcliffe, our good friend, in the booth with us here for the Chicago Cubs fantasy camp. And unfortunately, we're not going to see you pitch tomorrow, but we hope for an update as Jeff Baker gives this one a ride, and it will get out. Got it up into the jet stream and puts the Cubs on the board.
There's some karma there.
We were talking about.
I was on with Pat and Ronnie just a minute ago, and we picked up a base hit by Coy Hill, and now we're finally on the scoreboard. I am so glad for that song to end. I guess you are too, Bobby.
Yeah. Me and 40,000 other people. Now is your chance to lease a new BMW 3 Series for $439 a month with nothing down and no security deposit. Visit ChicagolandBMW.com for details. Our BMW Ultimate Drive, the only drive of the game so far for the Cubs. Jeff Baker with a solo blast to left center field.
Now, how many homers did you give up, Sut?
I gave up 231.
And you told us during the break you have no intention of giving up another one tomorrow.
that number is going to stand pat. Now, I will tell you something else. You know why Bobby's laughing, because he got a couple of them. That number wouldn't have been there. But another one that you were a part of were I led the league in hit batsmen a couple of years. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I got you, but I threw at you.
We'll check the numbers. We'll check the numbers. Your bone chip fastball was right in the middle of my bone chip swing.
It wasn't going to hurt you if it hit you anyway. But I got to tell you, I have come a long ways at singing Take Me Out to the Game, guys. Last year when I finished, I was so excited and happy to get it over with that I took my hat and a brand new pair of Maui Jims that were on top of it. And at least I got the sunglasses off before I threw the hat this time. So it's all about improvement, isn't it, Leonard?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you just want to get better from year to year.
Got the shades.
Well, these are Nikes, actually. I couldn't get Maui Jim people to send me another pair, so our good friends with Nike came through.
You did not hit Bob, apparently, in your career, but he hit you to the tune of a 364 average. One of the few guys to get you, though.
No, not really.
And this is the 22nd anniversary of 8/8/88.
How about that, huh? That I've told people many times that I was blessed with some all-star games and some opening days, but Lynn, that was the biggest event that I was ever involved in. It was the toughest ticket that I ever had to try to get a hold of for family and friends, and of course, it was determined that, God said, I'll let you know when you can turn the lights on. Here at Wrigley, we got rained out in the bottom of the 4th inning.
We had a piece from Cubs Forever before the game about that night. And everybody was telling you, throw the ball, go, go, go. Trying to get in 5 innings as quickly as possible. And you talked about all the flash bulbs that went off on the first pitch.
You know what, that was the strange part about it. I mean, back in '98 when Sammy and McGuire were hitting homers, it seemed to happen all around baseball, and Bobby, it is today. But that was what was the first time you remember everybody taking a picture at the same time? That was the first time it ever happened to me, and obviously the very next pitch I give up a homer in the street. I'm not using that as an excuse. I gave up a bunch, but it really did. And I remember Harry Carey on the air going, what just happened? I mean, I think he thought there was like an explosion or something.
Ramirez gets a hold of this one. It'll find the gap in left center right off the door. Lee's going to stop at third, and we might see a little action in the Reds pen here at some point. Still a 7-run spread, but the Cubs finally doing something offensively.
You know what, I got to tell you guys, listening to you guys all year long, as always, a terrific job. I know when, Bobby, you played on some bad teams. I did it as well right here. When things don't go as well as you'd hope, it's tough. But, Lee Arthur Smith and I are out walking around the stands. We're saying hello to people. We've been down the left field line. We were over at Murphy's. You know what? It is still a pleasure and an honor to come to this ballpark and just experience what baseball and the history of baseball is all about.
That's very well put.
It's a cathedral. It's a baseball cathedral.
I mean, I was blessed to play here for a long time. I don't know that I exactly mean this, but a lot of times, I mean, the score really doesn't matter. You're going to have a good time, and it's going to be something that you never forget. And watching you guys all the time, you're always showing pictures of the stands and the kids that are involved. To me, that's the best part of it.
And no matter what the Cubs record is, when the team wins, people leave the park happy.
Yeah.
For that one day. The 0-1 to Marlon Byrd is a strike. The problem today, Sut, go ahead, Bob.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the problem today has been walks. Johnny Gomes has been walked 4 times and he's scored all 4. And with the wind blowing out, you can't give him a lot of free passes.
Well, Ronnie Santo asked me that just a minute ago on the radio. What's it like when your team struggles offensively? To me, Bobby, it's a lot like when you pitch on opening day. You know you're going up against that other team's #1 guy.
This will be a ground out, but an RBI. Well, everybody's safe. Airmailed by Francisco into the stands. 8-2. Still nobody out. And Ramirez will come home as that throw went out of play. 8-3. That'll bring out Brian Price. Get comfortable, Mr. Sutcliffe.
Well, I was a part of a lot of offense in this ballpark. I was hoping maybe I could bring some here, but you know what? This is, guys, I got to tell you, and Bobby, having managed and all the years that we played, and Lynn, all the teams you've covered, when you see teams like this, and the record's not what you hoped it would be, there's some frustration on the part of that. You love watching a team hustle. And you know what? I give a lot of credit to what Lou Piniella is still doing here. This team's still out there playing hard. We've had some fly balls that have gotten lost. When it walks people, how that tends to slow everything down. But look at this. I mean, I think these guys still feel like they can win this ball game.
First 4 have reached here in the 7th.
I'll tell you, if the rest of the team, and Len knows this as well as anybody, if the rest of the team would follow the lead of Marlon Byrd, this guy plays like every day is going to be his last game in the major leagues.
How about the All-Star game he had?
Unbelievable.
Had an opportunity to do that for Major League Baseball International, televised to all the world, but televised to all of our men and women, our armed forces, and the emails that came in after that game about people that had never heard of him. They didn't even really know where he was playing, but how much they enjoyed the effort he put out.
2 strikes on Soriano.
I wanted to go back to that first night game here at Wrigley just for a moment. Well, do you remember that day? I mean, you know, playing all day games at Wrigley, you used to, you know, waking up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, go to the ballpark.
Yeah.
What was it like waiting around for that game that day?
No question that it was different, and just the people and the number of requests for tickets. I mean, when you've got Bill Murray calling, you got Mark Harmon calling. I mean, you're going like, I mean, I'm a kid that grew up in Independence, Missouri, Lynn. I'm not used to these. What are these people calling me for? You know, and it was just it was such just a great moment, and you know, it was something that was without a doubt. I mean, it was needed here. You know, there are times when we would come back from the West Coast and you get in at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. You got to go out there and perform. And you know, it was tough from time to time. And the way they've balanced it now, still having as many day games as they do, Lynn, I think they've got the best of both worlds now.
And I'll tell you, when you sing the stretch at night here, you got the spotlight on you, 40,000 pairs of eyes on you. That is going to be foul.
You know what, Bobby? I noticed you were laughing quite a bit when I was struggling to get through there.
That's what he does. He laughs.
I've heard you a couple of times too, pal. And that,
We operate under the same theory. Start low and slow. Let the fans start singing, and then you can kind of lip sync the rest of it.
Next time Bob sings, will you come and sit in his chair and just look at him and
just laugh? I would love
just
to.
Laugh.
You let me know. I'll be here. I remember the first time I did it, Joe Girardi just, ooh. I mean, he said, you've got to give it up as much as you can. So, you know, I mean, you throw the mic out there as much as you think you can get away with it. But, you know, here for these fans at Wrigley, I mean, you guys know, it's all about effort. And I tried. I mean, you know.
Just have a good attitude.
High fly to left. Gomes back already on the warning track, and he makes the catch. We've seen a lot of balls right to the wall. So Soriano just missing a 2-run homer. 1 out in the inning.
He fooled me there.
Yeah, I thought that one was going to go for sure. I don't think he got all of it. He thought he had enough of it. We get a little more assist from the wind on that one. Gomes tracks it all the way back to the vines and make the play.
Sutton, you see pretty much everybody doing a lot of the national games. What teams do you like? Let me just ask you this: Reds or Cardinals in this division?
I thought the Cardinals would want to run away with it when the season began.
Fair ball for Nady. Bird's going to trot home. It's 8-4.
Tell you what, Bobby, there's a guy I would like to see come back next year. Nady gets that elbow healthy, gets a few more at bats. I think this guy could put up a big offensive number in this ballpark if he's healthy.
He's always been a hitter when healthy, especially against lefties. He crushes left-handed pitching, but as you said, that right elbow just hasn't allowed him to consistently play defense. And you know, when you're trying to find spots to drop a guy in as a pinch hitter or spot start him, that's no way to get the consistent at-bats you need.
It's going to be it for the starter, Wood, who had a no-hitter in the 6th. The Cubs with 4 runs in the 7th, and still only 1 out. We'll be right back.
Listen to this.
Are you guys going to tell me what's going on?
Fine.
We've got a great thing going here.
I'm amazing. You miss me?
It doesn't get better than this. Yeah.
Just freeze! Just freeze! Oh, dear God.
When I got to have it, I got to have it.
Pepsi Max, please. Good song. Great song. So, Pepsi Max has 0 calories, huh?
Yep.
How many calories?
0.
0? 0. What are you doing?
YouTube.
Oh.
Pepsi Max. 0 calories. Maximum Pepsi taste.
I'm that guy that doesn't take directions. I had a heart problem. I was told to begin my aspirin regimen. I just didn't listen until I woke with pains in my chest. I almost lost my life. My doctors, again, ordered me to take aspirin, and I do.
I make sure that he does it.
Aspirin is not appropriate for everyone, so be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
I encourage everyone to listen to the doctor and take it seriously.
Learn more about protecting your heart at IamProHeart.com.
One of the best all-around players in Cubs history, Andre Dawson, recently going into the Hall of Fame. Any one particular moment or memory stand out to you, Mr. Sutcliffe?
Wow. You know what? Early in the ball game, watching the fly ball and 4 guys out there and nobody being able to come up with it, just thinking about how well he and Rhino were able to handle that sun. I mean, obviously, you know, Hall of Famers, but there's even more to it than all of the offensive things that they did.
Bill Bray is the new pitcher. It's 8-4, and a strike Coy Hill didn't agree with. Runner at second, only 1 out.
Andre still swears that I owe him $100,000. Ooh. Remember when he was a free agent standing outside the gate in spring training, and I said I couldn't believe we wouldn't sign him. I said I'll give $100,000 of my money. Of course, Dallas Green wrote me a letter telling me to shut up, and you know, he told me that I needed to stick to pitching and he'd run the club, but I just thought I would help a little bit.
Don't say it if you don't mean it.
I meant it, but here's the deal. Y'all remember right here when Eric Schau hit him?
Yeah.
And I charged? Well, I got fined and suspended for 8 days without pay. Well, there's your $100,000.
There you go.
Huh?
Yeah, that was a scary incident. That gets by everybody. Wild pitch. Beatty now at third.
Pick up one more right here. Coy got the first hit of the afternoon. Just pile on right here, huh, Bobby?
Yeah. Take it where you can get it. Can't be picky right now. I am kind of surprised to see Dusty go to another left-handed pitcher after Travis Wood with the all right-handed hitting lineup the Cubs are featuring today, but we've got plenty of relievers available in that bullpen if Bray runs into any trouble here.
Carlos Zambrano's going to hit, and the pitcher spot is Hill. Couldn't hold up. That's a big out for Bray. 2 down.
Well, we put you on the spot about the Reds and the Cardinals. Who's the best team in baseball this year, Seth?
Once again, you know, the easy choice is to say it's the Yankees, but I mean, Bobby, we know. I mean, if you know, if something goes down, if they need something, they've got the resources to go out and get it. You look at that rotation. You know, Pettit's going to be back, and what a big-time postseason guy he was last year and has been again. You think about it, though, they lost 2 games in the World Series last year, and the guy that beat them is down there in Texas now. And it looks like the Rangers are on their way to the postseason, and you know what? I don't think the Yankees are in any hurry to face him again, and I know he'd look forward to that opportunity. So good stuff. You know, I look at the parity in baseball. We've had 8 different World Series champions the last 9 years. The last 5 years we've had different champions. We've had tiebreakers each of the last 3 years. You know, there's a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah, if the playoffs started today, the National League would have 4 new teams in the playoffs that weren't there last year.
Outside to Big Z, Tampa Bay, certainly among the elite, almost got no hit again. Brandon Morrow was 1 out away in the 9th. Way outside.
Saw something the other day. That makes 15 times now that a pitcher's taken a no-hitter into the 7th inning or beyond. I mean, wow. They're going to lower that mound again. The Bob Gibson rule, man. We're going to be pitching uphill one of these days.
Flat ground.
Lower the mound and move the fences in.
Pitch from second base. 2-1. Did you ever pitch just for fun off the old mound? Well, that'd probably feel weird for you now, wouldn't it?
It felt weird pitching at Dodger Stadium and Shea Stadium. I don't think they got the memo that they were supposed to lower it back then.
The pitchers were getting bloody noses on those mounds. Those things were way up there.
Ducking planes there in New York. Well, guys, I got 4. Now, you guys ought to be able to take it from here. I might get another one here. Bobby?
Do it. Don't stop now. You're rolling.
He has pinch hit quite a bit. He is not up there to walk. I can tell you that. He wants to swing. And he chops it to Bray. Low throw, and Joey Votto has dug a couple of them out of the dirt. Rick Sutcliffe, the best.
Right
Good luck tomorrow.
You. Thank you so
much. Mow him down. Fantasy camp.
The music that is the pulse of America comes to life before your eyes. Head to WGNAmerica.com/Tom Petty now to nail a free trip to LA and front row tickets for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers in concert at the world famous Hollywood Bowl.
This is the police. What are your demands?
Hey, let's stall him. I just found some Bud Light in the back. Here we go.
We demand a helicopter. Got it.
Well, we demand a hovercraft, a pipe organ, a Siberian endangered lynx, and my old high school track coach, Mr. Gill.
Hey, guys.
They're good.
It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
This is the number to the hideout. You just give me a call whenever, okay?
Want hemorrhoid relief without messy creams or gels? New Cryostat. Instant relief. No mess. Cryostat. A breakthrough in hemorrhoid treatment. Extinguishes itch, burning, swelling with cooling comfort. Instant relief. No mess. Cryostat.
Where you book matters. Expedia.
All right, your new Energy Star qualified Kenmore Elite's all set up.
Fantastic. How can they afford a new washer and dryer right now? They just remodeled a month ago. Something's going on.
Smart shopping is what's going on. Anyone can buy new appliances through the Sears layaway plan. You just lock down the model you want now and pay over 8 weeks.
I want her life. I want her new washer.
Appliance layaway. Choose now, pay over time. Get 30% off all steam washers and dryers and 20% off all other appliances. Sears.
Let's check out today's Honda CR-V game summary. Travis Wood, the rookie left-hander's been really good. Today took a no-hitter into the 6th inning. But the Cubs coming back, not only breaking up the no-no in the 6th, but 4 runs in the 7th. Visit your Honda dealer. Test drive a 2010 Honda CR-V. 1 unearned run in that 7th. As right-hander Mitch Atkins steals a strike to Chris Heisey. Atkins, the 4th Cubs pitcher, 3rd onto the bullpen, and they have all been rookies. Check swing, and Heisey hit it foul, 0-2. Well, it would have been nice, Bob, to see the Cubs get that 5th run, runner at 3rd, 1 out, and they could not. Add number 5. Long road back, trailing at 1 point, 8-0. A pop-up near first base as Hill and Lee get over there, and it's Derek to apply the leather. 1 out. I think Rick Sutcliffe enjoys the chance to root for somebody for a couple of innings a year when he comes up to the booth here doing all the national games where you have to be impartial. A strike on Miguel Cairo. Always great to see Rick Sutcliffe. Two and nothing on Cairo. He's going to keep that Expos dream alive. Two bouncer as Castro backing up, and it cost him. Miguel Cairo with a base hit.
Well, then we've been talking about Votto and Pujols and the comparisons between the two great first basemen, especially in their batting style. Pujols perhaps a little wider in his setup, and his left arm is a little straighter on the backside there, but very similar in their approach. If we actually take the names off there, you'll see that their heel is in front of their toe on the front foot. Something we've seen a lot of hitters do recently to try to concentrate on keeping that front side closed rather than open the front foot with the toe pointing forward. It's almost like they lead with their heel just to remind themselves to keep their front hip and front shoulder closed.
(8-4) Cincinnati. It looked like a blowout early, but the Cubs have made it a game here in the late innings. Atkins trying to keep the Reds somewhat close. (3-0). Third stint so far with the Cubs this season for Atkins. Made his major league debut last season. 2 relief outings in July. Fly ball deep the other way, and Soriano just watches it fly. A 2-run shot for Votto, and it's 10-4. Already had a career high in home runs. He just adds to it with his 28th.
This is what I remember about Joey Votto in his first season in the major leagues, his tremendous opposite field power. That's a ball that's on the inner third of the plate and down, but gets a barrel of the bat on it and knows where that one's headed.
The pitch to Johnny Gomes. He is doing everything in his power to put a ball in play today. Oh, 0-2.
Well, and I'm sure some Cub fans remember the name Cal Daniels. Played for the Cincinnati Reds. Career was somewhat hampered by injury problems, but he was a left-handed hitter that had prodigious opposite field power. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Joey Votto.
Cal Daniels finished his major league career with the Cubs. 1992. Bloop base hit for Gomes. He's been on all 5 times.
Runs combined between Votto and Gomes, the 3-4 hitter in the Cubs, or rather in the Reds lineup.
So Cincinnati getting ready for a huge series, their biggest of the year, against the St. Louis Cardinals. They're trying to do it off a sweep here, leading 10-4 in the 8th. They actually opened the ticket windows at Great American Ballpark for 6 hours today as they get set for that series. Outside corner, 1-2 on Bruce. St. Louis may arrive in time. Whether or not they start in Florida is another story. Ground ball base hit to right. Third hit for Bruce. 4th straight hit in this inning. And again, they've done it all today without two of their better players. Scott Rowland and Brandon Phillips both out of the lineup, but 12 hits and 10 runs.
And for that matter, Drew Stubbs, a guy that's had a subpar season by most standards, but he has absolutely killed the Cubs this year.
Right-hander Jordan Smith has a ball, but right now he's just watching. One and two on Juan Francisco. He's knocked in 2 today. Very windy afternoon. Each team with a home run. Baker for the Cubs and Joey Votto for the Reds. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
We talked about Francisco as this series began. He was the Reds minor league player of the month coming in, had been red hot down in AAA before his call up here to the major leagues. I'll be trying to do a little bit too much today. He's not going to get many opportunities to play with Scott Rowland as the everyday third baseman.
And he's batted with runners on a lot. Twice with the bases loaded. This time with first and third. It could have been a huge day for Francisco. But that's something you learn, isn't it, at this level, when you do get a rare opportunity to try to not be overly aggressive. It's not easy.
Now that consistency of approach, whether there's runners on base or no runners on base, make sure you get a good pitch to hit. Try to hit it hard somewhere. I think a lot of times young players maybe put a little extra pressure on themselves as they walk up to the plate. They see those runners out there in scoring position, or in the case of Francisco, bases loaded. And their eyes get a little big. They get a little overly aggressive.
Castro out. Soriano in. Starlin putting up his hand as he puts 2 hands on the ball, and the inning ends. Joey Votto with a 2-run homer makes it 10-4 Reds.
Time for the Denny's 8th inning break. With Denny's new 2, 4, 6, 8 value menu, you can get 16 different items for $2, $4, $6, and $8, including the $8 spicy cowboy chopped steak with a drink. Denny's 2, 4, 6, 8 value menu. All day, every day.
Denny's has 3 delicious new skillets starting at just $3.99. You hear that sizzling? It's the money you just saved burning a hole in your pocket. Just kidding. It's the new skillets.
With diabetes, it's tough to keep life balanced. I don't always have time to eat like I should. That's why I like Glucerna shakes. They have slowly digestible carbs to help minimize blood sugar spikes, which can help lower A1C.
Glucerna, helping people with diabetes find balance.
And so the conversation turned until the sun went down, and many fantasies were there. On that day, keep feeling fascination.
Are you boxers, are you briefs, or something in between? Do you dream in heather gray, or a place where trunks are mostly bluish green, with a waistband softer than the rain? Well, I don't care what you want to wear down there.
Drew Stubbs in to play center, and he'll hit 9th. Chris Heisey moves from center to left, and the new pitcher is right-hander Jordan Smith, who will go into Johnny Gomes' spot. Top of the order, Castro is 0 for 3. A strikeout and 2 warning track flies to right. 10-4 Cincinnati here in the 8th. Outside corner, 1-1. Smith has not allowed a run since the break. This is his 10th appearance. 10 innings, 8 hits, but no runs here in the second half. He's a rookie. Seen a lot of rookies in this game. All 4 Cubs pitchers rookies, and 3 of the 4 for the Reds.
And up to this point, Smith has been a strike thrower. He's only walked 4 in 23 innings of work.
Math is bad. 2 of the 3 from Cincinnati. Rookies, as Bruce is going to catch another one on the warning track. 3 warning track flyouts for Castro since the 4th inning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fly ball outs to Jay Bruce for the Cubs. And most have been on the warning track.
To the warning track, yeah. Must be one of those thin winds here at Wrigley today. Doesn't seem to be helping a lot of the fly balls.
I don't think it's a coincidence. Well, it might be. I mentioned the 9 putouts for Bruce on Monday in Pittsburgh. That was Travis Wood's last start. So for whatever reason, Travis Wood gets a lot of fly ball outs to right. Baker homered to start the 7th inning rally, in which the Cubs would plate 4 runs. Sharply hit ground ball right to Cairo, looks it in, pops the glove, and gets the out. Visit the official online shop of the Chicago Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the Cubs.com shop. Accept no substitutes. Derek Lee looks at a strike. Ground ball to third. Francisco Tovado, and that's the inning. Jordan Smith works a 1-2-3-8. Here comes the 9th. Reds 10, Cubs 4.
Dude, I am so excited that you're single again. We are going to conquer New York City.
Will you marry me?
I guess it's just your best friend gets engaged. You start thinking about that stuff. I don't see no ring on his finger.
One tribe, y'all. One tribe, y'all. We one tribe, y'all. We are one people.
When you choose Pepsi, you support the Pepsi Refresh Project, which is giving away millions of dollars to refresh communities across America. So choose Pepsi.
One tribe, y'all.
Every Pepsi refreshes the world.
One people.
It's time to take matters into your own hands, especially when a little work can mean big savings. AutoZone's got the advice and expertise you need to take on any job and get it done right. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
This Ken Morley multi-motion washer, how does that work?
Hit it! The other machines only go in circles. This Kenmore Elite has multi-motions for custom clean. It scrubs to help lift stains, rolls to wash gently, swings, steps, and tumbles.
Better than just circles. What? Sorry.
The first multi-motion washer from Kenmore. Get 30% off all steam washers and dryers and 20% off all other appliances. Sears.
Welcome back to the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. See, I just ad-libbed that line.
The world's biggest cue card down there on top of the dugout.
Paul Janisch. Ball one. We're in the ninth. Second inning of work for Mitch Atkins. Got a number for you here. It was technically a quality start for Travis Wood. He gave up 4, but only 3 were earned, 6 1/3, and the Reds probably will improve to 45 and 15 when they get a quality start. That's 30 games over 500. The Cubs are 36 and 31, just 5 over the 500 mark when they get a quality start. That's a problem.
That's a big time problem.
The Cubs have more quality starts than the Reds, but the Reds are going to have 9 more wins when they get a quality start. A pop-up out in the left. Soriano will get there.
Well, and you know, we touched on at the top of the show today the idea of playing spoiler when you really don't have much left to play for other than personal stats. The idea of going out there and at least trying to rain on somebody else's parade, try to slow the progress of those teams that are looking forward to the postseason, put some pressure on them, make them play their best baseball to beat you. I think if the Cubs could do that the remainder of the way, at least they could go home at the end of the season with their heads held a little bit higher. You don't want to be one of those teams that playoff contenders circle on the schedule. Say we can't wait till we play the Cubs because I know we can take 2 out of 3, if not sweep them. You don't want to be one of those teams. Even if you're well out of contention yourself, you want to be a team that people don't look forward to playing against.
Stubbs thrown out. Got down the line quickly, but Baker got him. Well, it won't be easy for this offense. Madison Bumgardner tomorrow, a 3.20 ERA. Carlos Zambrano for the Cubs. Ryan Dempster, Tim Lincecum Tuesday night right here on WGN. Tom Gorzolani, Barry Zito Wednesday night, and then Randy Wells and Matt Cain on Thursday afternoon here on WGN. And then it's off to St. Louis. One and one to Heisey. One and two. The Reds have not scored in just 2 innings going into this ninth, the 4th and the 6th. And the Cubs with all their runs in the 7th. Detroit did beat the Angels 9-4. National League, the Rockies over the Pirates 8-4 final. Carlos Gonzalez with his 25th home run. He had 4 hits for the Rockies. I think he's leading the league in batting average. Yep, started at 321, now up to 327. Milwaukee pounding the Astros 11-5 in the bottom of the 8th in Milwaukee. Casey McGee with his 16th. That hit him. Just caught part of Chris Heisey's jersey.
Second time today that Heisey's been plunked by a pitch, although you can't really call it a plunking. Both times the ball just grazed his jersey as it went by. That one was a little bit closer than the one that started the ball game.
That'll give Cairo his 6th at bat as he hits it foul. Padres have lost 6 of 9 going into their matchup at Arizona today, and behind Matt Latos, the Pods lead 2-0 in the 3rd. Jerry Hairston Jr. with his 9th home run. Fly ball right field. Nady still drifting, and it popped out. And the Reds get a run. Cairo all the way to 3rd. An RBI triple from Miguel Cairo, and it's 11-4.
Nady misplayed that ball right off the bat. It was hit a lot better than he realized. And once he saw the ball was going to go over his head, he just kind of started drifting back very casually, and the wind kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. He puts his hand up there to shield his eyes, but by that point it's too late. Ball hits right in the middle of the glove and pops out.
So Atkins has to face Joey Votto. Ted Lilly gets his 2nd start for the Dodgers today. He's been touched for 2 runs in 2 2/3. He's facing a former Cub teammate, Jason Marquis, who's coming off the DL. It's 4-2 Dodgers in the 3rd. We saw Carlos Zambrano pinch hit in the 7th inning, grounded out, and he will be back on the mound as a starter tomorrow night. Back in the AL, Texas and Oakland scoreless in the 4th. The Rangers are 8.5 up on 2nd place, Oakland in the West. And the Royals and Mariners also scoreless in the 4th inning in Seattle. Votto strikes out, but the Reds add yet another run. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. They lead 11-4.
The music that is the pulse of America comes to life before your eyes. Head to WGNAmerica.com/Tom Petty now to nail a free trip to LA and front row tickets for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers in concert at the world famous Hollywood Bowl.
I don't know about this.
Bro, you can't chicken out now.
Yeah, can't do it. It's really high.
Look at that boat down there. Those guys have a ton of Bud Light.
Here we go. Oh! Check it out. Oh, aluminum bottles, anyone? Don't worry, they're a little salty. Bikini!
It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
She wants it back.
Denny's has 3 delicious new skillets starting at just $3.99. You hear that sizzling? It's the money you just saved burning a hole in your pocket. Just kidding, it's the new skillets.
Nice finger. A wart could get used to this. Liquid wart remover. That's all you got? That could take weeks to treat me. Did it get cold?
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away removes warts fast with as little as 1 treatment.
You'll miss me.
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away.
Ever wonder who's searching for you?
5 people searching for me? Oh, goody.
Go to mylife.com, the internet's leading people search site. Just type in your name and see if someone is searching for you for free.
Could be my old client. Maybe he wants me back.
At mylife.com, there are millions of unclaimed messages. You could have messages waiting for you right now. Go to mylife.com, type in your name, and see if someone is searching for you right now for free.
Reds 11, Cubs 4 as we hit the bottom of the ninth. Cubs have won just once on this homestand. And in danger of being swept by the first place Reds. Jordan Smith with a 1-2-3-8 and a first pitch strike to Aramis Ramirez. This will always be a special place for Smith. He got his first major league win here at Wrigley Field on July 1st. One and two. Went after the high heat, couldn't find it. So what day is the Bob Brenly parade in San Francisco again?
It's been canceled indefinitely.
Oh, it has.
The weather's going to be too cold there.
Yeah, it is going to be cool coming up.
Projected highs in the mid-50s, and yeah, we want it to be a nice, sunny, warm day.
Conquering hero returns to his roots. But at least we won't be at the stick.
A small consolation. Boy, every now and again I have these nightmares about Candlestick Park, and along with a lot of other former players, I would be more than happy to kick in for the dynamite to blow that place up. Yeah, it's so funny because we're seeing a lot of rookies make their debut with the Cubs this year, and they get to come here to Wrigley Field in front of a full house, and for the most part it's been a beautiful weather summer. We didn't have that luxury.
Marlon Byrd deep to right center.
Come on.
Caught by Stubbs. Cubs are wearing out the warning track today. So with 2 down, it's Alfonso Soriano who's 0 for 3. He's flied out twice, grounded out once. He's hit at least 20 homers every year since 2002 as he sits on 19.
Might as well get it out of the way right now.
I agree. Career high of 46 in 06 with the Washington Nationals. Those 19 lead the Cubs. Tyler Colvin second with 17. And Alfonso also leading in RBIs with 57. Here's a pitch. Ground ball. Francisco up with it behind third. The throw right on the money as the Reds sweep the Cubs. A couple of close games to start the series and a blowout today. 11-4 the final score. We'll have more from Wrigley Field in a moment.
Imagine a world of non-stop football. See scores as they happen live in HD. Watch every touchdown from every game. Sunday afternoon will never be the same. Dish Network presents NFL Red Zone.
Awesome. It's like awe-inspiring awesome.
My buddy here is kind of underplaying it. I mean, it's the red zone. It's the best part of the game.
What I love about NFL Red Zone, every single touchdown, every single highlight.
If I could describe NFL Red Zone in one word, it would be super awesome.
A must for any NFL fan.
Call Dish Network today. Packages start at just $29.99 a month. And add NFL Red Zone for just $7 a month. Plus, you'll also get NFL Network, featuring football 24/7, including exclusive Thursday night games. NFL Red Zone has to be seen to be believed. Get the channel critics have called by far the most innovative sports television creation of 2009 or even the decade. The NFL Red Zone. An out-of-body, all-encompassing, died and woke up in football heaven experience. Now, get Dish Network and add NFL Red Zone and NFL Network for just $7 a month. And with Dish Network, HD is free for life.
I am a fantasy guy, and because of watching Red Zone, I'm able to get the jump on guys in my league.
It gives you all your stats right there in front of you.
Everything NFL has to offer on one channel.
Plus, with Dish Network, you'll get exclusive split-screen picture-in-picture on any TV.
I've got NFL Red Zone on one side and the local game on the other.
If you flip back and forth, you hear something from another game, you can try to find the channel. The Red Zone just brings me right to it.
Call Dish Network now and get a free DVR upgrade and HBO and Showtime free for 3 months. Plus, free installation.
It's like watching an action movie, but all you see are the explosions. Boom, boom, touchdown, touchdown.
Call Dish Network today and add NFL Red Zone for just $7 a month or visit dish.com. Sunday afternoon will never be the same.
Chicago Cubs baseball on your official summer baseball station, WGN. Brought to you by Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Submit your idea at refresheverything.com. And by Illinois Lottery. Mega Millions can find you twice a week. Tuesday and Friday jackpots start at $12 million. Reds complete the sweep 11 for the final. The Budweiser play of the game. Cub killer Joey Votto, late in the game with a 2-run homer, might be on his way to an MVP season.
All right, certainly the numbers would indicate that. His 28th bomb of the year. The Cubs were able to keep him quiet in the first couple games, but he definitely made his presence felt today.
Budweiser with full flavor and a crisp finish. It's what we do. Good matchup coming up for you Tuesday night here on WGN Sports. 9 o'clock Central Time as the Cubs play the Giants. Game 2 of a 4-game series. Ryan Dempster against the last Cy Young Award winner the last 2 years in the National League, Tim Lincecum. Once again, our final score today, the Reds completing the sweep 11-4 over the Cubs. Stay tuned. The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show is next.
Pizza photo shoots, they're insane. They do all kinds of weird stuff. But at Domino's, we're making a change. Why don't we just take the pizza right out of the oven and take a picture of it?
We want you to be our photographer. Order 2 mediums with 2 toppings for $5.99 each and send us your pictures.
Pizza this good stands on its own.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Did the little piggy cry wee, wee, wee all the way home?
Yeah? You're home.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Mrs. A.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Let us pray.
Love you, honey.
Love you too.
Visit VirginMobileUSA.com/TV.
Where you book matters. Expedia.
It's been a 2-team race. Wednesday, the boys in black meet Minnesota in a crucial 3-game series on the south side. White Sox Twins, Wednesday, 8 East, 5 West on WGN America.
Welcome to the Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show. The first place Cincinnati Reds showing why they have been the best team in this division, winning their 4th in a row today. Beating the Cubs 11-4, 11 runs, 13 hits, 1 error, 10 left for the Reds. 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, 10 stranded for the Cubs. Travis Wood has pitched well against the Cubs both times out this year. Improves to 3-1 on the season. Thomas Diamond has lost both of his major league starts. He's 0-2. 39,016 watched it. And after a 15-minute rain delay, 2 hours and 40 minutes. We'll have more of the Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show rolls along from Wrigley. The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show is brought to you in part by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. And by Culver's, home of the Butter Burger and fresh frozen custard.
Wait for it.
Boom. You ready?
I see the face of America, and it is divine.
We are being so bad.
But technically, you're being worse than me. Because you're eating from that new mini blizzard, so proportionally, you're stealing more per bite.
I can't believe it. You have to ruin everything.
Don't you walk away from me.
Celebrate the Blizzard's 25th with the all-new DQ Mini Blizzard. Big Blizzard taste in a smaller Blizzard bite.
Last year, the U.S. used enough plastic water bottles to stretch around the Earth over 190 times. Each Brita filter can take up to 300 of those bottles out of the equation.
This Kenmore Elite multi-motion washer, how does that work?
Hit it! The other machines only go in circles. This Kenmore Elite has multi-motions for custom clean. It scrubs to help lift stains, rolls to wash gently, swings, steps, and tumbles.
Better than just circles. What? Sorry.
The first multi-motion washer from Kenmore. Get 30% off all steam washers and dryers and 20% off all other appliances. Sears.
Pizza photo shoots, they're insane. They do all kinds of weird stuff. But at Domino's, we're making a change. Why don't we just take the pizza right out of the oven and take a picture of it?
We want you to be our photographer. Order 2 mediums with 2 toppings for $5.99 each and send us your pictures.
Pizza this good stands on its own.
Well, the lights are now off here, but they had been on all day. And I think young Cub fans take the lights for granted. But Cub fans who remember 8-8-88 certainly did not take the lights here for granted. 22 years ago, the lights came on for the first time.
1, a 2, a 3, let there be.
The first night game was it was a spectacle. It was a happening thing.
It had the feeling almost of you were walking into a heavyweight fight, that you're going to see something tonight that you've never seen before.
I go out on the mound, and I'll never forget the Hall of Fame said, hey, whatever you do, don't let him put the first ball in play. So I was told to just miss the outside corner. They wanted to take the ball to the Hall of Fame. I do that, but as I turned to go to home, all of a sudden, I too, and you've heard the broadcast, thought the stadium exploded. I went, what in the world was that? I mean, nobody had ever taken pictures of me, not like that. Everybody in the ballpark took a picture.
The first pitch of the ball game. Look at the lights flickering all over Wrigley Field.
My first at bat, I'll never forget because, you know, I was excited. It's a big moment.
Look who's coming on the field. It's Morgana. She wants to kiss Sandberg.
Morgana, the kissing bandit, came out and kissed Rhino. I was on deck and I was jealous. I wanted her to come kiss me.
And there I am trying to get my first at bat, you know, under my belt, under the lights, and I go up there and actually hit the second pitch for the first home run under the lights. So that was a big thrill.
It might be. Ryan Sandberg, the first nighttime home run at Wrigley Field.
I remember them saying that we're about to see from the West, that we're about to get a lot of rain here at Wrigley Field. And Rick Sutcliffe slowly pacing around the mound, wiping his brow, tying his shoes, and we're all screaming from the upper deck or from here, just throw the ball. Let's get going. We want to get this one in.
It rained. It rained, and wouldn't you know it, of course, because God didn't want lights at Wrigley Field.
Jody Davis, you know, started talking about, hey, let's go slide on the tarp. So, you know, I was young, I bit, went out there, and I remember sliding on the tarp with Jody Davis, Al Nipper, Les Lancaster. You know, that was the first thing I remember about the first night game.
I thought the ballpark was going to blow down, the lights and everything. I mean, it was just, within 2 hours, I went from a high to feeling as bad as I could possibly feel. When we lost that, remember, we got rained out, terrible storm. I mean, turned out to be a terrible evening.
When we come back, the Culver's sweet defensive play.
What's up? Oh, my feet are killing me. You should get some custom fit orthotics.
Dr. Scholl's Custom Fit Orthotic Center. It recommends the custom fit orthotic that's best for your feet. And foot care scientists are behind it.
You get immediate comfort.
And you could save a couple $100. For locations, see drscholls.com.
Well, Max, first day.
Mom.
Did you have your lunch?
Yes.
And you know your classroom is?
Uh-huh. Mom, I can walk from here.
What about
Mom, I got it.
They're never too big for a little something sweet. Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treats.
Everyone dreams of hitting the jackpot.
Gonna play the lottery? Yeah, I don't really do that whole lottery thing, man. 370 million, you can't be too cool for that.
But on August 20th,
We won the lottery.
easy money
How did you spend $100,000 in one day?
has never been so hard.
I'm gonna need that lottery ticket. Protect yourself at all times.
Bow Wow, Brandon T. Jackson, Mike Epps, and Ice Cube.
Say, young blood. Somebody read him a bedtime story.
Lottery ticket, rated PG-13, August 20th.
If we all lived here, we wouldn't have to worry about what's in our water. But most of us live here. So we need the Brita pitcher for healthier, clean-tasting water.
Starlin Castro and the Cubs are up against reigning Cy Young winner and freak of nature Tim Lincecum. Tuesday at 10 East 7 West on WGN America.
The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show is brought to you in part by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. And by Culver's, home of the Butterburger and fresh frozen custard. Now the Culver's sweet defensive play. Rough day for the Cubs overall, but a nice catch by Jeff Baker, robbing Miguel Cairo of a base hit, and also helping out his pitcher Casey Coleman in the fourth. Our Culver's sweet defensive play of the game, Jeff Baker with the catch. Our next Cubs telecast here on WGN Sports. Ryan Dempster against two-time Cy Young Award winner Tim Lincecum, 9 o'clock Central Time. That's Tuesday night from AT&T Park in San Francisco. Once again, the final today, the Reds 11, the Cubs 4. Cincinnati now with a 2-game lead over the St. Louis Cardinals, who are still waiting in a long rain delay in South Florida. If they do get going, I guess now it has been postponed, so the Cardinals will head to Cincinnati, 2 games back for that big series. We'll see you Tuesday night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
It's been a 2-team race. Wednesday, the boys in black meet Minnesota in a crucial 3-game series on the south side. White Sox Twins, Wednesday, 8 East, 5 West on WGN America.